everyone, and welcome to the Unquiet Rec. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons & Dragons. I am Lola, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight. We're thrilled to be streaming at twitch.tv RollTogetherRPG. For those who are new to Dungeons & Dragons, everyone here plays fantasy characters in a fantasy universe. The 5 players each have their own unique character with sheets that tell them who they are, what they can do, their deepest secrets, and what dice to roll. They will mostly be rolling this 20-sided dice that you can't see unless it's in front of my face to see if they succeed in what they're trying to do. 20 is fabulous. 1 is not so great, or just hilariously bad. And whilst they play their characters, everything else in said fantasy universe is played by me. People, monsters, weather patterns, general shenanigans, you name it. Between me describing the world and story, the players describing what they want to do, and some dice rolls to keep things unpredictable, for all of us, we will tell our story. So now, my players will introduce themselves. And we will start off with Chris.
Hello, I am Chris. I use they, them pronouns, and I am playing Hamaris. Hamaris is a 8.5 foot tall lobster person. Mm-hmm. Enough said.
Yep.
Very nice. Okay, well, Nate, then go ahead.
Hello, I am Nathan. Super excited to be here. I will be playing Ship Wizard Two Tooth Myrtle, who is a large turtle man. Enough said. Also.
Okay, Mike.
Hi, I'm Mike. I use he, him pronouns. I'm playing Brine, the sea elf. Who uses she, her.
Very nice. And Kez.
Hi, I'm Castrol. I use she, they pronouns, and tonight I'm playing Vale, the Tabaxi cleric.
And finally, last but not least, David.
Hello, I am David, and I am playing Copperbox, the Warforge designated underwater safety unit.
Love it. Okay. Before we kick off, this stream will run for 3 hours, and there will be roughly a 5-10 minute break somewhere near the middle. And here's a word from our sponsors.
We are delighted to be sponsored by HeroForge. HeroForge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. You can see all of the minis that we designed for this stream in the overlay, and they animate when we enter the combat, so look out for that. HeroForge are fantastic, so do check out the Pro membership where you can get premium access to features ahead of time, and beta access to things, and all sorts of cool stuff that just makes your life a lot easier. And you can check them out at heroforge.com.
We are delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. They make accessories for D&D, Magic the Gathering, and more. My favourite part of their collection are their figurines of adorable power. Here is their gazer. They also make other things such as deck boxes if you play Magic the Gathering. You can find all of Ultra Pro stuff at ultrapro.com.
Hey friends, check out our new sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for a carefully curated menagerie of click-clack math rocks for your delectation. Check out their entire selection at phoenixdice.com, and just so you know, Phoenix Dice are all about living gloriously in the worlds of tabletop games and sustainably in this one, which means their dice are working to be recycled, their packaging is recycled, the dice are made of sustainable materials. It's all great stuff. You should definitely get involved. You can also join us today in chat with a chance to be in a raffle and win some Phoenix Dice of your own. Just put !dice into chat and you'll be in with a chance to win.
We are proud to be sponsored by Alchemy RPG. Reimagine your gaming experience with Alchemy. They're focused on creating immersive cinematic experiences everywhere you interact with tabletop role-playing games. Playing a game, creating a world, streaming, watching live games, discovering new content. Look at all the cool stuff that they are doing there. You can use environmental motion art, scene-based music, seamless character management to run your games over the internet, with upcoming features including homebrew content, streaming overlays, and spectator mode. So go and check out alchemyrpg.com.
We're delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. Select your heroes and formation and battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. You can pop exclamation code into chat for a free Electrum chest.
We're delighted to be supported by Neverwinter. In Neverwinter, explore and defend one of the most beautiful cities from Dungeons & Dragons' Forgotten Realms campaign setting as it rises from the ashes of destruction. Epic stories, action combat, and classic role-playing await those heroes courageous enough to enter the fantastic world of Neverwinter. Neverwinter is completely free to play, so set yourself up an account today and pop !NW gift into chat for a link to a free gift.
Check out our supporters at D&D Beyond, your guide to digital dirt and dirt. Make character sheets online, share them in a campaign, and track all of those tasty little stats in one easy place. You can use the Beyond app to track your characters on the go. You can also use their encounter tracker and archive monsters to run any smooth combat thing. You know what I'm saying. You're a DM. You've done this before. You know D&D Beyond is the place to go. You can also check out our character sheets with an exclamation point characters in Twitch chat below.
Check out our wonderful supporters, Elderwood Academy, who make beautiful bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chest dice boxes, spellbook deck boxes disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and scroll and codex dice tower and rolling tray pairings. Make your own with their online designer at elderwoodacademy.com.
This stream will run for 3 hours, and there will be a roughly 5 to 10 minute break somewhere near the middle. We run shows on Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Greenwich Meridian / British Summertime, which is 10 a.m. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. in mainland Europe, and 2 a.m. Tuesday morning in Japan and parts of Australia. On Mondays and Tuesdays, we run TTRPG streams for 3 hours. And on Fridays, we run our talk show, Talk Together, for 1 hour. Our TTRPG streams can be one-shots, 4, 6, 8, or 12 weeks long. You can always find our latest schedule at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg/schedule.
We are Roll Together RPG on all socials, so find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and even TikTok. Links in chat.
Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can find a link in chat. Help us make our shows from just £1, $1, or $1 gold piece, and unlock more tiers by joining. Our D20 Club are fab. They've created a fan Discord for us. They've also made a wiki page for Roll Together. You can find that at rolltogether.fandom.com.
Welcome to our podcast listeners. If you also would like to listen to us via podcast, you can search Roll Together RPG on your favourite podcast provider. If we're not there, let us know and we will add ourselves to that list.
Finally, we play with a diverse group of players who play a diverse set of characters with wide-ranging sexual and gender identities. Our tables are trans and GNC positive, and we encourage and champion trans and GNC players and characters in our games. The DM and players may portray characters that are a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering, but acknowledge that it does happen, and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. If we miss an instance of misgendering, we are open to being corrected, so please do just let us know if you think one has been missed. Check out !safety in the chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit. And now, let us begin. We start on the greedy Darwin. It's been an interesting few days. It was a lovely calm seas until a storm shunted you out here. A day or so ago, you've had a little bit of time to collect yourself and your bearings and have been kind of idling in this area for a little while. But now that you've done some repairs and had a rest. Generally, just resituated yourself, ready for the venture down into the deep. Where are you on the ship? Let's go over to our wonderful Vale.
Caught me in the middle of like trying to make something really fun up. So I think Vale is likely pacing around the ship, like trying to get just everyone's thoughts and feelings on like, you know, the storm that had just happened, like documented. So she's going around just interviewing everybody on the ship currently. Going to Copperbox, to Myrtle, over to Brian, over to Homerus, and just saying like, okay, so from the very top, from the very beginning, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling a few days ago? On a scale of 1 to 10, are you in any emotional, any physical distress at the moment? And has that changed? Will that change in any time soon?
No.
Wonderful. Okay.
Maybe a 3.
3. Oh, okay.
Out of what, though?
I don't know.
No, I think 3 says a lot about the kind of character that you are. And that's very, very, very nice of you to share with me. Shows great confidence that you can be vulnerable with me today. And I look forward to speaking with you more.
Whenever.
Okay. Thank you.
As Vales strides off to speak to the next person, what does Vale look like?
So Vale is sort of pale orange-skinned tiger tabaxi. She has these almost like gemstone stripes across her body. These faintly glow with like this radiant magic. It's a very dull glow unless she is casting magic, in which case, well, we'll get to that later. But she wears these more vestment style clothing than, you know, anything swashbuckling or piratey. She is a woman of the cloth. Her faith is not to any specific god, but to curiosity itself. And so she wears a lot of like whites and blues, a lot of very flowy sort of gowns, but she's still very nimble at the same time. And she has like a nice little tome strapped to her side that she reads every so often.
Wonderful. And as we're kind of seeing you stride off, what does Homerus look like as we leave behind?
Homerus, or Hom to their friends, is a lobster. They are a giant lobster with humanoidish legs. They have 2 very large arms that are like almost like if they move their head too fast left or right, they'll knock into their own arms. And a smaller set of more insectoid 3-pronged hands underneath. They're probably just sat on a barrel that's like buckling with their weight. They're 8.5 foot tall, and they weigh so much because all of it's this hardened chitin. And they're probably just sat waiting for someone to say time to go swim down. They're not the brightest or the fastest, but they do as they're told. And they found that if they do as they're told with this lot, they get more food, and that's good.
Fabulous. Okay, Vale, who would you be approaching next?
Vale is fascinated with Copperbox, if only just because of the name alone, and so skips off to find it.
Okay, and Copperbox, where would we find you on the ship?
I think Copperbox would be very close to the stern, enjoying the salt spray and being in communication with nature. Copperbox has clearly been eroded quite significantly over the centuries, and there's lichen, various crustaceans, and so on growing off of them.
Wonderful. Okay. How does that conversation go?
I think you hear very quietly next to you, logbook entry 307. Copperbox appears to be staring off wistfully into the distance. Difficult to engage or make specific note of emotional capacity or experience. We'll engage shortly. Copperbox, how are you doing today?
The head turns slowly round on its axis.
I find my systems are functioning optimally.
Optimally. And on a scale from 1 to an undetermined number, would you say that is a good or bad experience right now?
Insofar as I can approximate, it would be 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0.
Excellent, excellent. I have no idea what any of that means. I'm just going around asking questions about the current experiences we're having during this voyage to make sure that we're all on tip-top shape and high morale. And if you're doing well, then that's a good sign.
I approve of your morale-building exercise.
Well, thank you very much. It makes me feel very good about myself. I have a couple...
I feel like we have a transformer on ship.
Dave, can you just say I find your lack of faith disturbing?
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Yeah, great.
Sorry, God.
I'll be heading on to the next person very soon. Would you like to join me while I talk to the rest of our crew?
This would be a sufficient use of my time and resources.
That's wonderful to hear. And plus, the more the merrier, as they always say. Come on.
Copperbox sort of grin appears with a creaking of various metals. It's not an expression they practice on many occasions.
Like music to my ears.
Okay, who are we finding next?
Vale will turn to Copperbox and ask, so, we've got a couple of people left on the ship. I've already spoke to Hum, but who would you like to see next?
It would be useful to ascertain Ryan. I find the name soothing.
Brine. No, I can see it, yeah.
Okay, Brian, where would they find you on the ship?
I feel like it's like, without even hearing her name mentioned, she's like, oh, did you just feel that breeze? She's the head of the ship on sort of the back banister, sort of sat on it with her legs sort of dangling. And basically, she's got a big jar and she's pulling out pickles that are in brine. Just eating them away. And every now and again, she's like aiming it and then trying to hit it on the back of whoever's piloting the ship. Just every now and again. And yeah. Brian is a sea elf. She's like got sort of a grey, almost grey-green shimmer to her skin. She wears a really tight leather sort of what we would imagine as a swimsuit, but it's sort of the leather fantasy version of that. And then all around her, she's got rope with rocks on that she uses for freediving to be able to sort of jump straight into water and go down quickly into the water. Then she'll ditch them, quite a traditional way to oyster shuck and stuff like that. And she uses a net as like a cape or cowl, but and it's a fisherman's net.
So the pickles that you've been throwing at your the Dan Captain, they grab one out of their head just before it's about to hit them, and they throw it back at you, like hitting you squarely on the head. It's at that point that both Copperbox and Vale come and fight you.
Good morning, Brian. How are you doing today?
Morning, Pickles.
My name's Vale. Oh, Pickles. Thank you.
Yeah, nice. Morning.
So, I just have a couple of questions. You two doing a staring contest at the moment? What is tension?
I am endeavoring to put Brian at ease.
How well do you think this is going?
Robot status report.
For no reason at all, but from a number between 1 and infinite, how well?
Infinite is not a number, it is a value.
Okay.
Very good.
I would say very well.
Smiles all around.
Vale, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing excellently today. Thank you so much for asking. I'm just doing a little evaluation of everyone's psyche today. So, how are you feeling about today's journey?
Good. If we get to go in the water, I'm kind of, I'm feeling a bit scaly. The sun on my skin just after a while. So I'd much rather. The storm, I did enjoy it though, it's great, good for the brine in all my pickles, the movement.
Pickles. Movement. Well, judging by what our benefactor told us, we should be nearing the location we were told to investigate when we first departed. So, very hopeful.
Oh, you listened to that? I didn't listen.
That's fine. At least someone did. But
anyway, copper box, and she just goes back to staring.
I think that we'll probably
leave you two to this.
Yeah, I think we'll leave them there as Vale, you wander over and go find.
I was actually going to say, I think my character could actually come across this,
okay.
Where we're all getting ready for the dive, right? And whoever, and I don't know who is the captain of this excursion, Lola.
So your captain is Avedon Akoja, and I mean they're pretty relaxed. They don't really take much store in kind of positions on the ship. They very much like to let you all do stuff and go and talk to them, though not a fan of embroiling them in, I don't know, stupid shit.
As this conversation is going on, you guys hear a probably pretty common voice start to be carried over the winds as you see Two-Tooth Myrtle. I will figure out how to say it at some point by the end of this recording session. This is why you always say your names out loud first, kids. And kind of ambling over wherever you guys are, shouting out orders, is a 3-foot-tall turtle. Who is just kind of waddling around very awkwardly. He, and I did forget to give both my and Myrtle's pronouns earlier, both he, hims. He is wearing a kind of very gallant cape out behind him that drags as he walks. It seems like it's a full-sized medium humanoid cape that he is wearing as a small, he's a mechanically small creature. And he is also holding a quarter staff, but it's more like an 8th staff, and a little bit more like a kind of like club looking thing as opposed to like a nice slender piece of wood. It is old, it's weathered. It actually has like at the top, it has a bunch of like rusted chains and locks and nails on top that just kind of jangle wherever he goes. But you usually hear him yelling before that jangling also hits your ears. And the other two things that you notice is that he has kind of like flying around him, or always perched on his head or behind him or somewhere on his person, are two things. One of them is which one's first? One of them is a magical tome that you know is around always. He is one of the ship's wizards, and he has an animated spell book that always comes around. It is large. It is very large. It is unfortunately large. He cannot hold it very comfortably, but luckily it's animated and it flies around him all the time. And he also,
is it as large as him?
Not quite. I was going back and forth. A 1 foot tall member of the crew seemed a little excessive. So I went 3 feet, and then a 3 foot tall book. It's that's maybe too big of a book. So it is large enough that it is not comfortable for him to use if it were not animated. And he also occasionally, mostly perching atop of his head, is his familiar, a parrot. And he comes by, and he does not have a formal leadership title on the ship, but you would know him as a brown noser, and comes down to be like, what are all y'all doing down here? We're supposed to go up for the dive.
Myrtle, perfect timing. Just going around getting everyone's thoughts and feelings before the dive today.
Did the captain tell you to do that?
Not necessarily. It's an important documentation effort, though, because picture this, right? A few years down the line, we have discovered some great treasure down here, and our names are remembered through history or through the underworld, whichever one comes first. And wouldn't it be a shame if no one remembered who it was that discovered whatever is down there?
Myrtle steps on his book and is raised up just a little bit to be a little bit more eye height to you.
I duck down as well.
Yeah.
And he hates that. He hates that. You would know he hates it. And he says, "We're not here for the history books, laddie." He calls everyone laddie, I guess. Apparently, I don't know. Is there a good pirate gender neutral term? Matey. That's the one. He calls everyone matey. We're not here to be the history books, matey. We're here to be a part of the crew and to listen to the captain and to find treasure. Not necessarily in that order.
Boring.
Metal, can I ask
Brian,
a question?
We talked about this. Stow it.
Just a quick question, Metal. What is the greatest power known to humanoid kind?
This is a trick question?
No. There's a very simple answer.
Those riddles?
No, not at all.
Friendship.
Not at all. Friendship. Maybe fifth on the list, if not further down. No, the greatest power is knowledge. And what greater knowledge than the things that we have written down and can pass through the ages?
No.
Okay, I tried.
Get up to the deck.
As you say that, we'll kind of fast forward a little bit of time to when you're all getting ready to make your dive. So this is something you've done, well, I wouldn't say millions, but many a time before. And you've managed to navigate the ship so you're just above or at the coordinates that were given to you, and you think that probably this is where it's down, because you can kind of see the odd floating. Now my brain has gone and I can't remember the word.
Flotsam, jetsam.
Yes, that. Yes, you can see some of that.
Flotsam is stuff that is whole, like planks of wood, and jetsam is liquid or things that would dissipate in water.
Yeah. So you can see the odd flotsam and jetsam.
Shit in the sea.
Yes.
Looking over the side, that is the comment that you get. There's some shit in the sea.
Is it interesting?
Right, and you're ready now, so how are we doing this?
A giant claw will go down towards picking up Myrtle to put on the perch that Myrtle often has on the shoulder, unless told not to.
No, I think Myrtle appreciates this vantage point. He's not much for perception, but he likes to pretend.
these gigantic claws, and they're as big as you. Like, I am not a small person. Will just like very daintily like pick you up by the scruff and just place you on top of the back of my shell.
What's the most obnoxious, like, front flip, back flip, fancy shit Brian can do? Whatever that is.
I have no idea, but give me an acrobatics just so we can, or performance, whatever you prefer.
That's an 18. That wasn't a very good roll. That wasn't a very good roll.
That wasn't a very. Oh my god! Okay.
That was a pretty damn good roll. Oh, but
I'm a rogue.
maybe that's how Brian feels about her performance. Yeah. It's not as good, but I'd say it's a pretty good performance. Very, very showy.
Sploosh.
Possibly a bit splashier than you would have liked.
Yeah.
Oh, in which case I'll get in after, and there is no finesse. It is literally just a, and we'll disperse water like a cannonball as I enter. There is no subtlety here. Anyone on the deck ship is soaked.
Vale is in the middle of like getting her cap of water breathing ready. It's like this little choker almost that you can like activate to like put a bubble around your head. But just as like that is like activating, I imagine the water just soaks her fully. Like, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Cap of water breathing up, and then we'll like try to like jump over the side of the ship, but like crawl over it ever so slightly as she's like carrying everything she has on her, and we'll just like clumsily fall into the water.
Such a graceful party.
Absolutely.
And Copperbox.
So, Copperbox, having seen how Brian has chosen to conduct the entry.
Designation Brian Friend shows artistry. This pleases me.
Copperbox will sort of walk up to the edge of the ship, attempt to orchestrate an approximation of a flip, and just fail it entirely in belly flop.
Oh, well,
And,
before we say you fail it, like, give me a roll.
I choose to fail.
Okay.
But sure.
Like, we're also like artistry of the build-up. They're like our hands forward and then just.
It would have been a fall. So
as the rest of you are in the water and like swimming down or falling down, like you just see kind of Copperbox like face flat, just kind of sinking down past you.
This is a bit embarrassing.
You will get a faint.
Oh, way to get ahead of everyone, Copperbox. Nice initiative.
Are there any fishies?
Oh, yes. There are some. It's mostly small fishes. I think there are little fishes that have kind of come around to see if there's anything in the area that's worth kind of snacking on, because there's, as we said, that there's flotsam and jetsam and little bits of things that are in the water that have been disconnected from the wreck. So you'll see like this, well, I'd say kind of all manner of different coloured fish of some small or large sizes that will kind of be somewhat disturbed by your passing, and kind of some of them will swim away in a school, but others will kind of swim around and over and just peck at little bits of things around you. As you see these fish going past, you could, yes?
Can I eat a fish? So, someone asked that.
Catch one?
Can I eat a fish? Fish. That's the way this is going. What do I need to roll to catch
Can
fish?
you catch one?
What do I need to roll? What do you want me to roll?
Oh, okay.
Attack roll?
Dex. I think it's a Dex. Oh, well, you could roll in a Dex roll or a Dex. It depends on what you use for your...
My claws. My claws.
No, I know, but I'm saying, which is better for you?
What, a dex check with the claws? The claws, definitely the claws.
Okay, the claws.
I am a chunk of meat. All right, good. I have a very low dexterity score.
I mean, the fish are fast, so...
Only 11.
Oh. I think you failed to catch a fish.
As we go down, there's a happening as we go through all the fish and just gentle noises of.
So as you're doing that, that triggers like the rest of the fish to kind of fully like swim away in a pixel and kind of abandoned ship.
Damn it!
That you see.
Is there any chance I can friend of the sea at some point before they all disappear?
I am sure that if Hom was to stop attacking them, you might find that they come back and might join you later on the ship. But
eat the fishy. That's still happening. Let's tell me to stop.
Yes. So as you dive down, you start to see the form of the Kyanite dragon take shape. There's this mask that's slightly, it looks kind of broken in two right in the middle, and then you've got the rest of the top of the ship. It looks like the top deck is mostly intact other than, I don't know, the gaping hole right through the forecastle where it looks like something has smashed a hand right through. You have an inkling that perhaps they were in their own kind of storm. And so there's like bits of it that have been broken off, and there's possibly like a hole in the side of the ship which kind of comes into view as you go further down. Who has dark vision here? Because it is getting progressively darker as you
question.
down.
Do I have dark vision? I don't think I do.
Google, can turtles see in the dark?
Can turtles see in the dark? Come on now.
Nope, I cannot. Oops.
Okay.
I really chose poorly with this character.
So I can see perfectly fine, and I will literally turn to Myrtle, the turtle, and go, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go?
I'm not in charge. I can't be in charge. That's someone.
In which case,
did we ask? Who did the captain put in charge?
I will ask everyone, probably too loudly, if we consider that something dangerous might be nearby. Hey, everybody, where are we going? Hey, what's the plan, everybody?
I'll swim up to Han. It would appear that I cannot pass a lot of the finer details down here in the ocean depths. I simply cannot see in the dark. So I'll be holding on near to you.
That's all right.
I think we should try to investigate what is nearby carefully and as quietly as possible, because as we were told, there is a potential for other plunderers to be nearby.
Okay. What is that?
Guys, there's a big boat over there. Brian just starts swimming.
Because
Brian can see in the dark.
Brian's in charge.
Okay. I'll follow Brian. Let's just swim after Brian. For someone my size and weight, I am surprisingly good at swimming because I have underwater swim skills.
As you've paused briefly in the water, probably like a couple of depths up, maybe, but Copperbox has continued sinking. Past you.
As my captain once said, I cannot see shit.
Some Copperbox should have prepared light as a cantrip.
Yes.
Oh.
That's fair.
Okay.
I'm starting to think there's going to be us four doing a campaign, and then just like a mini series of Copperbox just being lost on the ocean floor.
Stuck in the Mariana Trench.
Under the sea. Under the sea. Darling, it's better. Down where it's wetter. Yeah.
I will say before we descend too far that Myrtle will pull up the also hilariously oversized hood on his cape, and this is even before we go like too far deep probably, and will, like, as he puts it on, there's just this swirl of cloth and arcane activity where both his book and his oh my god, his parrot, that's the word, who are named Polly and Libre, and not the ones that you'd think. And all get kind of swirled up, and he turns into turns into a manta ray, sort of, essentially, in that he's wearing a cloak of the manta ray and starts kind of like flapping little wings all the way down as you see his eyes and his parrot's eyes, and then maybe a few pieces of paper just all sticking out kind of from the front.
Okay.
So your book tries to approximate eyes. This will do.
So we have 4 of you kind of approaching. Well, no, 3 of you approaching together. One of you has shot off, and then one of you is kind of just sinking down to the bed of the sea. Hopefully, and possibly, if you are able to somewhat navigate yourself in the water, you'll land by the ship or on the ship. But you can't see it, so I don't know. Do any of you have a way of making light?
Or like a sun rod? Does anyone have a sun rod? I don't.
I mean, I have a retroactive pitch to make to you. Given that my intelligence isn't 0.
Please do. I mean, fine. You're supposed to have all been able to, you're supposed to have done this before many times. So
yeah.
Copperbox realizes that it's a really good thing that they remember to attach the coin with continual flame cast on it and pull aside the scrap of metal that keeps it hidden. Oh, look, it's an underwater torch.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. So the rest of you, or those of you that could not see in the dark, suddenly see this kind of glow begin to illuminate from possibly at this point just approaching the ship and just illuminating the... where would you land? On the quarterdeck, which is the back of the ship, or the middle and main deck?
I would imagine, given that we've been told that there may be some others around, probably, well, whichever part of the ship is closest to my friends and allies would make the most sense.
Well, you're illuminating it for them right now,
yeah.
So you're there first.
I would say
Brian is there first.
Sorry to interrupt. I apologize.
Okay.
I would say maybe we don't land on the ship because if we've done dived before, we don't know what the structure's like, especially we have roughly 1,400 pounds of meat and steel landing on this all at once. So let's go to the ground and then maybe approach that way so it doesn't ruin
How about
further.
this? If this makes sense to y'all in terms of having done this before, completely agree with that. Landing sort of next to the ship, a safe distance away, and then moving the piece of metal over the coin to give a prearranged sort of signal. This is where I am. It's reasonably safe.
I mean,
some sort of light.
Does everyone
code.
else want to roll perception to see if you see it?
Is it a guppy? Is it Copperbox? We don't know.
Rolled a 10.
Ooh.
And you can see in the dark.
21.
I can see in the dark, yeah.
Yeah. Oops. Okay. Well. So I'm assuming that you might have to drag people over, Kaz, with your 21. But yes.
I will help round out whoever is starting to veer off in the wrong direction. This way.
Well,
down we go.
I'm following Brian. Brian.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going.
Oh, Brian sees it.
Yeah.
Brian sees it as well. Yeah.
Can Brian speak to fish?
Yes. That's what I was trying to do before Hom decided to eat the ball.
Also, being a metallically shaped sort of thing that can generate sound, just give my best approximation of a sonar.
I was thinking more like a lighthouse. You just stand and start spinning. And then the light just sort of hits us now and then.
That would give our position away.
Tad.
Okay. So you are approaching from the side of the ship.
Seabed.
Yes, having landed on the seabed and hopefully made your way towards each other.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you've reconvened. Do you have any plans of approach, or are we just going to assess the situation and head on?
Does it look like the ship has sort of Titanic or sort of cracked at one end, or is like how old does it look like it's molded or not molded, rotted away slowly, so there's like holes in?
So make me an investigation check.
Would I also be able to assist Brian by casting guidance on her?
Of course.
Yeah. I'll just like head on over, rip out a piece of paper from my tome that, for whatever reason, isn't getting wet. I will tear it into like a whole bunch of like tiny little pieces, and I'll give you a piece and say, I know how this seems, but I just need you to like eat this very quickly. Trust me.
Yes. She'll eat it.
You get a piece of guidance. You get 1d4.
I keep hearing Brian as Brian, and then my head goes, Brian! Every time.
Yeah, same. It's become a real
you can
problem.
canify that the Hom has just never understood that her name is Brian and just calls her Brian at all times.
Hey, she's called Brian. That's cool. There's this great play about a guy called Brian who thinks he's a god or something. It's really good.
That's a 11 with a 1 on top for guidance. So potentially all the difference.
Ooh.
So so the ship is mostly it looks like it's relatively intact. You think that perhaps most of the damage you saw was up on top with the mast cracked and like the hole through the forecastle. There is maybe like a hole towards the back of the ship, but it's still towards the upper deck. So other than that, it looks like it probably hasn't been down here very long, which, I mean, if you'd paid attention when you were like talking to your contact, you would have found it was a relatively recent wreck.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't understand the question.
But yeah, so you can see it's a relatively recent wreck, and so it hasn't really accumulated any kind of sea-going creatures or anything. But so most of the damage appears to be at the top, and that hole is probably, well, you're not sure because it was slightly it's quite high up, so you don't know if like they took on water there or what happened that actually forced it to go down.
It's a good question. Does it look like I can sort of ascertain why it sunk in the first place?
No,
or was that also in the brief? Right.
It's got a hole in it.
I can always try.
There's a hole right there.
Thanks, Hom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we start from the top and work our way in, like usual, guys.
Do we want to be stealthy like, or do we want to...
Stealth is good, yeah.
But I could, like, fighting inside bad, fighting outside good, so I can make a noise, try and scare anything inside to come out.
If you just quiet for a second, I could just... and she'll make like a the clicking sound that dolphins make. Mm-hmm. And she'll sort of make that sort of subsonic clicking sound to try attract a couple of small fish.
Ooh, fishy fish.
No.
Oh.
Claws off.
Oh.
These fish are friends, not food.
Roll me a charisma check.
Oh.
Or, well,
which one of us?
Animal handling.
All right.
Charisma or animal handling. I mean, you're trying to attract them. They're not here.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a thing I could do.
What, as in bring them to you or just talk to them?
Just talk to them.
Yeah.
You caught me in my deception.
It's fine. Just do like a charismatic fish dance, and we'll get him over here.
I would say that Canonically, fish are attracted to bright lights underwater, and there is currently one.
Okay, so make a roll with advantage.
I needed that. Thank you.
Oh dear, what did we roll?
Again, I love that we're all just trying to enable a fish dance. It's a really important part of our plan. We got to start here. Everything builds from the fish dance.
It's a tradition.
This is the way. That's a 14 for the animal handling.
Okay. I think that you get possibly some of those multicolored school of fish that had noped the fuck away. Is maybe a couple of the smaller ones swim back out of curiosity, and they kind of swim up to you and maybe kind of array themselves just in front of you in your head, maybe come and nip at your hair.
Yeah, she sort of opens one of her canines so that they can, like they do with sharks and stuff, they clear the teeth for them. So I can only get simple ideas with these, you can't communicate to a huge extent. So I sort of think almost using gestures and the clicking sounds. I feel like maybe she could get real simple answers back. If she goes is the danger nearby? They're not going to go, oh yes, it's this big thing, blah, 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 it's over there. It'd be yes or no. That's kind of what I feel like it says.
But Mike, I'm right there.
And she's basically going to be try and signal in there, inside of it, is there anything that we need to be worried about?
So I think that these little fish, they're very, very simple, possibly even simpler than the, so you kind of, get these bubbles back of, almost enthusiastic bubbles that, as in, it's safe, it's fine, there's food.
It's all good in there.
Oh, okay.
Might be a tight squeeze, though, Hom.
When is it not?
How tall is Hom?
8.5 foot.
Okay.
Maybe you can clear some of the rotted wood to make yourself a bigger entrance if need be.
Okay,
so, just to kind of continue to paint the scene, so the seabed is a little bit. Can you get rocks underwater? Kind of rocky. It's not flat, but the ship is kind of nestled between perhaps a slightly larger rock and on the side. It's listing slightly to one side, and the water here is quite dark, so you've mostly just got that. So those of you that don't have dark vision, you mostly just got that kind of illumination from Copperbox's queen that is kind of showing you a slightly smaller subsection of the ship in kind of a rounded cone. And from where the light hits it, you see perhaps that there was some kind of slightly blue gem-like inlay, and but just on top of the intricately carved wood. And possibly if you direct the light over to the front of the ship, there is kind of a dragon's maw figurehead top. But yes, and as you head on up.
Yeah.
How are you getting out the ship? If you don't swim, do you swim, Copperbox?
Rappels, climbing, inflated bladders, legs turning into propellers, flippers, punching my hole through the side of the ship. Many options.
Okay.
And Copperbox does all of them at once.
I mean, look, if it's a real problem and there's something that we've done before and I'd be aware of this, I would just pick Copperbox up, just swim up to the top.
How heavy is Copperbox?
About a ton.
I'm about the same.
Okay. Oh, the same, so I can lift a ton.
Do you want me to roll for it? Is that what this is?
Sure.
Is it a fucking challenge?
I mean, you'd probably be aided by the water and buoyancy.
So 15.
Okay.
Everyone should have just made small turtles. I don't know what you were doing.
So
I've been playing a lot
It'd
of
be so
Fallout
easy.
4 when I had power armor in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're up on the main deck of the ship, and you see kind of the remains of the mast, like a little hatch in front of you, and some doors kind of either side, though the hole through the forecastle has kind of broken down that door on the left side, and what was kind of beds and like just kind of quarters, do you think? They're kind of a little bit in disarray and floating around. And to the right of you, the quarter deck, and below it, those doors still appear to be shut. The one is slightly askew, ajar, and you've got some steps leading down.
I will start heading towards the hole because that's the right size. Unless anyone goes like, no, over here, I'll just be wandering towards the hole going...
I think Vale is too interested in, like, those doors that are slightly open to, like, worry about the potential danger of what harm might be doing. And so will, like, herself sneak over towards, like, one of those doors that are, like, cracked open.
Yes.
Brian appears right behind you, Vale, like, on her shoulder, just like...
Yes, split the party. Yeah.
Yes.
A mobile lamp for those that needed it.
I was gonna say, I think Two-Tooth Myrtle. There we go. I had to stumble a little bit. Myrtle, you know, sees all of these these nincompoops all going different directions, as if we haven't done this before, as if we're not part of a cohesive unit, and it's just like. You see bubbles of frustration erupt from underneath the cloak. And it's just, what are you all doing? We need to stick together. Who is in charge?
Me. Let's go this way.
Okay, I'll turn around and go back to the others and
go
to the other doors. Go back to the other door.
You heard Brian? Get over here.
Okay.
And it's just very like trying to, like, not actually stealthy, but trying to be sort of stealthy.
Can I get everyone's passive perceptions?
17.
15.
13.
12.
14.
Okay. So, Phil, you hear it's not very clear, and it's almost like a vibration on but you kind of hear the sound of almost like someone saying hoist the sails, but like it's brief and it disappears very quickly.
Everyone be quiet.
Oh.
Can you hear that? Someone was... Is everybody playing a prank on me right now? Is that what's happening?
I'll lean in real close and go, boo.
My heart can't take those kinds of scares.
So sorry.
I thought I heard somebody hoisting the sails for a moment, but...
There's no sails, the mast's gone.
Well, I caught up to my own imagination for a second there. I think I just must have been...
Can I make a perception check in the background?
For sure. Are you pushing open the door? Like, what are we... How...
It's to try and hear what Vale
okay.
is saying.
Yeah. I mean...
But I definitely don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's nothing to hear. Like, what are you listening for?
Listening harder.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the scary one. I think I'm just really pumped for this little expedition here. Let's just see what's behind this door.
I'll open the door.
Okay, as you open the door, you see the kind of tables and chairs. The table, you think, was probably bolted or something to the deck, and because the chairs are floating a little bit, just like scattered around the room. You think there's probably a mess, and as you kind of open the door and make a move as if to step in, you feel just something run through your legs and disappear.
I just rolled to see if I tore the door off its hinges by mistake, and I did.
Oh, okay. Well, as you aggressively pull off this door,
There is no hoisting the sails, only roisting the nails.
Wow.
That's a good one, Copperbox.
I will look down at my tiny little legs, because this is definitely a lobster. So we're talking absolutely skipping leg day. There is no leg day.
Yeah.
Look down. What do I see between my legs? Oh, look, that's what I'm asking.
You see your legs.
Did you drop something?
What?
Oh, you just paused for a second there. You
thought I felt something on my legs.
Could I have a look around at the ground? And could I have could I just have a close look around, following Copperbox's light around the area to see if there's anything else in here with us?
I will follow you around with as close to an approximation of stealth as I can do. Basically, a looming mining lamp.
Okay. So you're going in and wandering around the room, or just the whole area?
Behind Hom in the hallway.
Okay.
But after hearing that something went between her legs, I'm starting to think maybe we're not alone right now, and I want to see if I can catch with my eyes anything sneaking off further into the shadows before it completely disappears.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
Okay.
While Vale is doing this, I will start the slow, laborious process of making my way through a door, which is sort of squatting down and turning sideways and shuffling.
I think the doors are pretty tall here, so you're actually okay.
They fit my shot? They fit my wingspan? Nothing fits my wingspan.
Oh, okay. I don't know about the wingspan, but they are
turn sideways and sort of grunt my way through a door to get through.
The doors and the ceilings on each deck there are about 8 foot tall, so you're brushing the top with your head, maybe leaving little gouges if like the rest of you.
Oh, there are big old spines on my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make my way into the room then while the investigation's happening for things that were on the floor.
I got a natural one for that as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can't see anything. Sorry. You can't see anything. It's just a ship. It's a bit holy than it should be. And, nothing. Nothing there. You're all alone.
I have a question. Brian, does anyone use arrows?
I throw my net.
I have crossbow bolts.
I have a javelin, but I assume that it's sort of air powered.
I've got javelins.
Never mind.
I never use them.
I'm more of a stabby.
Carry on.
So, Hom, you wander into this room. It's just from a basic look around. You think probably mess or something of that. There's cabinets on the walls with crockery that's kind of locked in and so on. Obviously things are battened down. Maybe the odd one has come open and there's a little bit of smashed crockery and such on the not on the floor, floating about in that area.
Sure.
But because the ship is stationary now, it's not really moved that much. It's just kind of on the water.
Is there any food?
I think that having known, having some knowledge of ships, basically you'll probably go towards maybe cabinet near to the back and maybe see if you can have a rummage. But yeah,
From behind Vale, you can hear Brian go, Any pickles?
I'll look for pickles. I'll look for pickles. Got digging through a box.
Yeah. So there are some kind of glass jars in there. One of them has smashed, so there's like bits of broken glass and like a little, but it's kind of slightly cloudier in this thing, and it's probably your pickles. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Brent. So the water is just kind of cloudier there, and other than that, there's maybe. Well, it used to be a decent looking loaf of bread, but it is very, very waterlogged now.
Stop eating the bread.
In the water.
Stop eating the bread.
So it's just this squishy mess in your mouth.
I'm a lobster. I have to masticate it all way down.
I ate soggy bread so much.
I'll take the soggy bread and I'll be like sort of nibbling on it. We'll put it into my smaller hands underneath my massive claw hands and start feeding myself bits of soggy bread while the big claws keep going, right. Like I'll take out some jars. What's in the jars? What's in the jars, Lola? What's in the jars?
Okay, probably there's some... You know what? There are some, like, oranges. Just whole oranges that are kept in the jars to kind of sell them away. Because you've got to have...
unscrew the jar. Does the orange sort of...
These oranges, yeah. They start kind of floating out.
Can I catch it? Can I catch the orange? Ooh.
You... I don't want to make you roll for it, but I'm literally like, you don't know your own strength. We've established this. Yeah. So you kind of go to grab one and just slice it kind of in half. It kind of squeezes out. And now you've got like orange citric acid spray.
That's fine. I will pop it in my... I'll have to chew it down a bit. So I'll take it and sort of start breaking it up and then sort of... just slowly chewing down these bits of orange. I think I've forgotten why we...
Well, to the point of let us for just stood by heads cocked.
Yeah, I think...
This whole room becomes a new broth. You can check out some of the other doors as well.
Yeah, maybe just slowly place the broken door back on.
Yeah.
Leaving Hob inside.
I feel like we've all just been like... We're all just like... We're supposed to... We're on a time limit. We got to keep moving, but like... We can't look away. Like
we're witnessing someone who has found enlightenment, and it's just awe-inspiring.
Have we ever been that happy in our lives?
I'll turn back with a mouthful of like half-chewed orange, just go.
And at that, seeing the carnage of bread and citrus, I think Myrtle is like, all right, we gotta. That's enough. That's enough for me, at least. So actually, Myrtle is gonna. He's not really much of a searcher, you know. But he would actually love to do some like investigation, ideally, just as we're kind of looking around and especially not seeing anything jumping out at us, to figure out if he can see any obvious points where like, not just how it sank, but if there was kind of like. Everyone is out, you know, just like kind of get a sense of like what the ship's like last moments were basically before it sunk.
Okay.
Everyone went to brunch, clearly.
Are you in this? There weren't any plates or anything on the table or anything, so like it wasn't that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So are you coming back? And you've left this room. And you're now coming back onto the main deck? Or are you going further down into the ship? Are you going over to the side? Where are you looking?
I think
are you gonna look at the door next to it.
Every option you listed, you sounded more and more mysterious and be like, or maybe what if you did this? And now I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe.
I don't know. But Vale, you hear laughter? Just briefly.
Do I get a sense of the direction, or is it just like sort of reverberating all around?
So it's you think it's probably from the other side of the ship, but it's just like very brief, like vibrations on the water.
I think like whoever is like paying attention to Vale sees her like ears perk up as she like catches this again. And is Brian still near Vale? She'll like just turn to you very quickly and say, I can hear it again. There's something out on the other side of the ship. There's like this laughter. And as she like says that out loud, would it be possible to do another perception check to see if she can like just focus her hearing to see if there's any other strange noises aside from the eating that's going on in this room next to us? With regards to like whatever else might be here.
Yes, okay. Give me another check.
Okay. And could I also roll a nature or something to see if underwater horrific laughing near shipwrecks
but you
rings any bell for our sailor? Right, yeah, but I figured Vale would be like, hey guys, I hear this horrible quiet laughter.
Yeah, there's this one there's a laughing anglerfish or something. It's deep divers. I got an 11 total.
Okay.
Now it's imagining a fish going like doing a like penguin laugh from Batman.
You think it was coming over from maybe that room with the kind of hole in it? You think it was maybe from over there, but you're just not sure.
Has Myrtle already walked off on his own, or is he still around us?
I think what happened,
choose to check out,
was that Myrtle was going to start going back, and then he realized, wait a second, no one's told him what to do. And so Myrtle turns around and is like, Brian, I want to go look. And so is literally left the room and then came back being like, actually, is it all right to this?
She looks at you confused and goes, well, I'm not in charge. Vale is.
Myrtle, just still wrapped up in this cloak, just looks up at you, as does the parrot. Just shakes his head.
I wish I understood subtext.
Vale is pinpoint focused on whatever the sound is supposed to be right now.
Mm-hmm.
And without really looking at Myrtle, who's looking up at her, she says, everyone, I think the next place you should go to is the hole in the other room. There's a sound coming from in there, and whatever else might be in here with us might be in there. It's either dangerous or what we might be looking for. Who's going to come with me?
Am I there or am I still eating?
I think we left you eating. Everyone was kind of enraptured.
No one could look at it anymore.
Come.
It was just too much.
All right, I'll walk out of the mess with a net bag full of oranges that I've found. Just slowly, and I say eating them, I don't mean peeling them. I'm just taking the entire orange and bits of it just burst out when I do it. Otherwise,
and you have to hold it like a balloon because it's all wanting to float up, and you're just.
It's in one of my small underhands, not one of my big claws.
It's just like a balloon of oranges.
Yeah.
Well, one of us is happy.
I found these sea fruits. That's what oranges. I think I know what oranges.
Okay.
Myrtle leans into Vale and is just the rest of this, something has gotten into these three. I will speak to the captain about it afterward, but I think for now, you have to be the one. You to get them in ship. I will help. I will support you, of course, but we got to get focused.
Oh, well, I'm not in charge. Copper boxes.
Fucking nailed it.
My systems are fully charged.
Myrtle just is looking at each of you, but not Copperbox, is slowly being like, oh, this is what you want? Yeah?
You know we love you, Myrtle.
Half an orange floats past my eyes.
Are we going to the pain and scary fear stuff?
Yeah, let's go check out the hole in the wall.
Okay.
All right.
What's your What order are you heading over there in?
Well, I'll go first because I'm big.
Okay.
It's a very low intelligence score. I'm trying to play it.
You stride over, like slightly shaking the deck a little bit, and all of you behind get this little cloud of orange, like juice floating past you in the water. Just have
Water
some
and citrus.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got pulp in my eye. 1 minute.
Technically, it's an oil, so it would dissipate weirdly. Just putting it out there. If you will, like that sort of thing.
Okay.
Citrus oil is very good for your skin.
I was imagining it like
Okay, so
those
you
fish that
don't
excrete
get
sand.
that in the water then. Okay, so who's at the back?
Presumably, Copperbox has the intelligence to understand how weight distribution works, so I'm standing right next to her.
Okay.
Be taking up the rear to defend everyone.
Do you have like what are the sensors on your body like? Like what do you receive kind of sensory input in that?
Yeah, I mean things like water pressure, oxygen content, breeze, temperature, these sort of things.
So
there's like a multi-tool that shifts out on the hand.
Yeah, so there's this odd sensation of almost something climbing on you, kind of winding its way around your legs, up your torso, and then off your shoulder.
Curious.
I believe something may have been climbing on me. It has now ceased to climb on me. That is all.
I thought I felt something climbing on me as well.
Are you sure it wasn't seaweed again?
Might have been.
I am certain this was not seaweed. I would suggest we be on our guard.
Do you know?
So
I will slowly, gingerly, and slightly sadly pack away the oranges.
The oranges are probably not a threat.
Take the oranges out again, fine.
Just thinking thoughts about improvised weaponry for bags of oranges, putting them underwater. Okay. As
1d4 acid.
As you approach this big hole in the wall, you can see a little bit clearer now that there are like beds kind of arrayed around the point of the ship, and like the hole does kind of go like through the center, so they're kind of slightly smashed at the front, some of them slightly broken, and there is that big hole like into the ground here that you can kind of look down through, but also there are beds and there are some trunks that are a little bit askew here, and like almost like fabric and clothing that is just kind of strewn over the area.
Vale's gonna go and check out the trunks, and while she is sneaking over, we'll just say to the rest of everyone else, if anybody wants to check out what's down that hole, we're either getting closer to something great or something not so great.
I will head for the hole.
Okay. So, as you look down the hole, you can kind of see. You can kind of see down that there are some just you can see the head. It's not great.
The head
but
of...
You can see the head. No, as in the shitter.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I know, I was going back and forth. It's like, is Lola doing a fun kind of backwards description of a mess? Or is it, yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
So there's a room that used to be an open air toilet and now isn't anymore?
Yeah.
Sure.
What's the toilet there? What's the
Okay.
But yeah, there's nothing there. And Val, can you just give me an investigation check? This trunk, it's not locked, so you can just. But do you want to try and look through it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
None of these rolls are coming out really great today. That's an 8.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, that you're lifting up the lid, and it's really easy. And you're kind of looking in and glancing in, and you realize that maybe the reason it was so easy to lift the lid is because there's someone next to you.
I look to my side.
And you see the... Sorry, the look on your face, Nathan. But you see kind of someone dressed in kind of ship's officer's clothing, very smartly done up, but half the face is missing. And I would like you to roll me a charisma save.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
Okay, that's a 9.
Okay. So, as you look at the ship officer's face and you look into their eyes, you're almost sucked in. Sorry, I'm laughing at all of the wonderful stuff that my players are putting.
I'm sorry.
Ruined the moment completely by typing jokes.
I said it while we were rolling for dice.
The intrusive thoughts won today. Intrusive thoughts won
Right.
today.
I need some fucking outlet. I need someone to see the
don't worry.
clever things my brain says for affirmation.
Don't worry, this is me.
Put it
in
on the
chat for
side.
everybody else, so that's
So the
totally
people
fine.
can casually glance.
I am the same. But yes, okay. Vale, you are drawn into the ship's officer's eyes.
So weird. I don't know why.
Are they brown, perchance?
Big brown eyes of yours.
They're colorless. You can't make it out any color.
Wow.
I can't. I'm just going to roll on the thing because I don't. There we go. Yes. You take. Sorry, I lost a dice. You take 8 damage.
What kind of
Psychic
damage?
damage. And you also feel like you're somewhat restricted in what you'll be able to do, as I'd like all of you to roll initiative.
Boom!
Uh-oh.
I'm now realizing that I don't have any capability of fighting ghost. It is me.
When Lola very casually was like, so no one has magical weapons.
I heard it, and Mike chose to ignore it.
They're all
Yeah,
silvered
that'll
weapons, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Have I come under the effect of a condition as well?
So it's not specific condition. It is essentially you will lose your bonus actions and your reactions until after your next turn.
Ooh,
So
gosh.
you'll get them back on your next turn. But
I'm conflicted because that's cool, but it's happening to me.
Yeah.
yeah,
See,
as basically part of your brain is trying to grapple with the memories of this ship's officer and kind of being drawn in, and they're almost kind of just taking up that extra brain space that you might need to like think about what you're going to do on those extra bits of turns.
15 on
Okay. Fantastic. So that is a 15 for home. What did you get there?
I got 23.
Okay, very good. Still. Copper box.
15.
Okay. Myrtle.
18.
And Brian.
24.
Salty.
Fucking rogues.
That's all right. He'll stab a ghost with a knife, and then we'll be like, great.
Yeah, I'm gonna realize real quick.
I just rolled a nat 1 on initiative for one of my Oops.
I do that shit all the time as GM.
And they have a -1.
Ooh. So I think that means they go to they skip one whole initiative.
That's go before
they roll
me.
a 0.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so that would put Brian at the start, I do believe.
Desperately scrolling for something useful.
I have since immediately we started playing. Just now do again? Okay.
I mean, I did call it the Unquiet Wreck.
Yeah, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but like that could, again, no offense to our lobster brethren, but like a lot of things are not quiet, and it could have been a crab infestation, and it could have been any number of things.
Okay, well, right.
So I guess this thing just hit my veil. So
I mean,
she's gonna
hit Vale. They just
scared.
You heard a
is it a visual thing? Would you say?
So, just as a kind of lay of the land, so in this room, it's probably about 20 to 25 across on the width, but it gets smaller as it reaches the point of the ship. So, like to 5 foot at the top, and it's about 20 foot long. This is a big ass ship. So this is that little section there, and then you've got the rest of the main deck behind you, and that's probably about another 40 foot in between before you get to the other side and the mess and that other door that you haven't quite investigated yet.
Can we see the ghosts now?
So you can see that ghost that is right next to Vale at the moment.
Has it actually attacked Vale, like, to Brian's understanding?
I mean, you can see them almost slightly frozen looking at each other. But and obviously you heard Vale make a wonderful cat screech.
Can we hear the cat screech?
That's good enough for Brian.
I was looking at my character sheet and I thought you meant like, can our characters hear this? And then just there it was. Perfect.
Quick little, just make sure everybody's like focused and like paying attention.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Get back. Combat time, everybody.
Brian will swim across to either the left or right, whichever sort of gives her an open way to just slide one of her daggers out, and she's just going to attempt to slash out at her. Not at her, at the ghost.
Okay, you're not hitting
that very quickly.
You tell them.
This is a non-magical attack for 11 to hit.
No. your like slash goes right through the ghost echo. What like goes right through it, just kind of through the water, and it doesn't register.
As she slashes out, she'll sort of like do a front roll in the water, and use like her gills and hands to almost like push herself away and basically pull herself to behind Hom, or get at some space where there's something nice and big to hide away from.
Okay. And next we have Vale. It is your turn. You've just been captured in this person's ghost echoes memories? What are you doing with your action?
I think Vale is like, I think she presents as mesmerized. Like she's finding it very difficult to pull away. But she will like unconsciously reach for her tome, shut it tight, and drag her nails across the back of it, making this awful screeching sound that even reverberates underwater as she casts her Channel Divinity Turn Undead.
Cute.
So that would need to make I believe, a Wisdom saving throw.
For sure.
Yeah, Wisdom saving throw against my spell save DVC. If its challenge rating is under my level, so 6, it becomes destroyed.
Okay. Well, that creature just kind of almost collapses in on itself and kind of screeches away, leaving that.
That goes for every undead within 30 feet of me.
Yeah. So you kind of hear this screeching around you, and you think that perhaps there were a few more that have disappeared. But that is a challenge rating.
Six or lower, I think.
No, it's
like half.
So it would be half or lower for us.
Yeah.
Ghosts are not CR, one
you've
half.
killed all my money. You've killed all my enemies. No. Okay.
They just gotta run for us.
Yeah. So half or lower would be destroyed if they fail, or
yeah.
So as you manage to make that horrible noise, and this one in front of you begins to kind of disintegrate and collapse and disperse into the water, you hear kind of some screeching and behind you as you feel like what was your DC again?
15.
Yeah. You feel like there were a few more that also kind of experienced the same.
Got turn.
Yeah, I just got it. I was going to say, do you want to do anything else on your turn? But you cannot.
I can't, yeah, so
no.
that's my turn.
Doof Myrtle.
Okay, so we got the sense that some were destroyed, though, right? Some by that. You hear Vale, you hear Myrtle shout out, "Can you do that again?"
Still sort of half in a trance. I think I can do it one last time before I need to rest.
Then hold on one moment. And Myrtle, how many can we see right now?
So you could only see the one. You can't see anything else around you.
Yep.
Myrtle is going... What's the smart way to do it? I have a thing. The things need to be looking at me to effect. So I'm trying to figure out when's the optimal time to do that.
Make yourself juicy.
Can you delay in 5e? I don't remember. I always forget.
You can hold an action.
You can.
I'm going to hold an action to cast a spell. Lower on, speaking vaguely, lower on the initiative order when someone gets attacked.
Of course.
I'll put it that way.
Okay. Well, I mean, you all rolled really well, so I guess we have Copperbox now. What are you going to do?
Aha. Pretty simple. For flavor, because it's already sort of technically equipped, we'll hear some sort of mechanical sounds, and then a cloak will sort of roll out like a blind from the shoulders. This Copperbox seems to shimmer and blur and move slightly from where they were, and the wrist snaps back as a blade comes forward, and very simply, not going to complicate matters, go straight towards the ghost that Copperbox can see.
There aren't any that you can see.
Oh.
Sorry.
Go towards the
In fact,
middle of
don't
the
blame me.
room and cast Sword Burst just in case there's any there that I can't see.
Are you going back onto the main deck, or when you say going into the middle of the room, are you going down the hole?
Where we are, down the hole, yeah. Screw
Okay.
it. It's what Copperbox is designed to be, the tank.
Okay. Make me a...
With 20 feet of light going out and then a further 20 feet of dim light.
Okay. I mean, you've gone down the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else is still on the other deck. So anyone that couldn't see in dark now cannot see properly up here.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
That's fine.
Would dim light still reach?
Probably. There's like this kind of... it's just this slight glow from about the hole. And you've just landed in this little room, and yeah, do you want to do anything here, or just...
Yeah, just for the sake of if I can't see anything immediately, just gonna cast Sword Burst just in case there's anything around me I can't see, and that'll just be canonically the blade just swinging around.
Cool. Finally, anything you want to do?
I'm gonna look at Vale. You all right?
I think I will be fine momentarily, but I'm having strange visions.
Hello.
As you say that, from the other side, and what you could probably deduce as the captain's quarters, this echo of the captain comes screeching through the door, and Copperbox downstairs, the door to the head busts open, and there is a slightly what's it called? A little bit zombified, a little bit just someone that has greatly suffered the effects of water and being underwater, maybe a little bit puffy, a little bit gross. That was gross, but yes.
Are they wearing trousers?
They are wearing trousers. They came from outside the head, not inside the head.
Oh, just making sure.
Didn't catch anyone off.
God, instead of a shambling ghost, it's a shuffling ghost. Pants around ankles. Bummer.
And
literally
up the stairs, you there's another kind of dragging of a sword, and that is where we will go to break. So
oh dear.
Yes.
Good. Neat. Good.
Yes. Thank you to my players, and I hope you're enjoying yourselves watching at home. We will take 10 minute break and come back with we'll see what happens with these little ghosties after Vale has so casually dunned some of them away and kind of collapse them into foam and crisp. See you later.
We are delighted to be sponsored by Hero Forge. Hero Forge offers fully customizable tabletop minis with dozens of fantasy species and thousands of parts to choose from. You can see all of the minis that we designed for this stream in the overlay, and they animate when we enter the combat, so look out for that. Hero Forge are fantastic, so do check out the Pro membership where you can get premium access to features ahead of time and beta access to things, and all sorts of cool stuff that just makes your life a lot easier. And you can check them out at heroforge.com.
We are delighted to be sponsored by Ultra Pro. They make accessories for D&D, Magic the Gathering, and more. My favourite part of their collection are their figurines of adorable power. Here is their gazer. They also make other things such as deck boxes if you play Magic the Gathering. You can find all of Ultra Pro stuff at ultrapro.com.
Hey friends, check out our new sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for a carefully curated menagerie of click-clack math rocks for your delectation. Check out their entire selection at phoenixdice.com, and just so you know, Phoenix Dice are all about living gloriously in the worlds of tabletop games and sustainably in this one, which means their dice are working to be recycled, their packaging is recycled, the dice are made of sustainable materials. It's all great stuff. You should definitely get involved. You can also join us today in chat with a chance to be in a raffle and win some Phoenix Dice of your own. Just put !dice into chat and you'll be in with a chance to win.
We are proud to be sponsored by Alchemy RPG. Reimagine your gaming experience with Alchemy. They're focused on creating immersive, cinematic experiences everywhere you interact with tabletop role-playing games. You could be playing a game, creating a world, streaming, watching live games, discovering new content. Look at all the cool stuff that they are doing there. You can use environmental motion art, scene-based music, seamless character management to run your games over the internet, with upcoming features including homebrew content, streaming overlays, and spectator mode. So go and check out alchemyrpg.com.
We're delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings together D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. Select your heroes and formation and battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, phone, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. You can pop exclamation code into chat for a free Electrum chest.
We're delighted to be supported by Neverwinter. In Neverwinter, explore and defend one of the most beautiful cities from Dungeons & Dragons' Forgotten Realms campaign setting as it rises from the ashes of destruction. Epic stories, action combat, and classic role-playing await those heroes courageous enough to enter the fantastic world of Neverwinter. Neverwinter is completely free to play, so set yourself up an account today and pop !NW gift into chat for a link to a free gift.
Check out our supporters at D&D Beyond, your guide to digital D&D. Make character sheets online, share them in a campaign, and track all of those tasty little stats in one easy place. You can use the Beyond app to track your characters on the go. You can also use their encounter tracker and archive monsters to run any smooth combat thing. You know what I'm saying? You're a DM, you've done this before. You know D&D Beyond is the place to go. You can also check out our character sheets and an ! characters in Twitch chat below.
Check out our wonderful supporters Elderwood Academy, who make beautiful bespoke gaming-themed gear, including hex chest dice boxes, spellbook deck boxes disguised as bespoke ancient arcane tomes, and scroll and codex dice tower and rolling tray pairings. Make your own with their online designer at elderwoodacademy.com.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. We are going to go right back in to the situation we have where there is a shambling something coming up the stairs with a blade dragging against the ground. One of the same has just bust in on Copperbucks on the head, and the captain, or possibly someone dressed like them, I don't know. What do captains dress like? Has come screaming through the captain's the door to the captain's quarter.
Obligatory eye patch, obviously. Yeah.
Very true.
Very inflatable true. Parrot.
Inflatable parrot.
So, Tom, I do believe it is your turn.
Yeah, I shouted hello on the principle that someone might turn up to use the claws on, and they did. So
really escalated.
Yep. So I will just run over towards the captain and just...
What's your favorite speed?
30 feet.
Okay.
Because I have underwater adaptation. and I will just zoom towards the captain with the claws out, and just on the assumption that this is bad because there was a shriek and Copperbox stepped inside a hole. These are both signs something bad is going on. So I'm just going to dive over and start clamps the captain. My claws are magical weapons because of my Eldritch Patois. And as a bonus action, I would like to rage.
What does that look like for...
The water around me boils slightly.
Ooh.
I don't think I feel angry. I think it's just the water around me boils slightly.
Toasting all your oranges.
Toasted oranges? Oh.
Lovely.
It's going to be a lovely mulled wine of a sea. Right, so I will go diving in and I will go for the clamps. Make sure I don't know everything right here. So I'm going to attack recklessly, which means before I even start attacking, I get 5 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Because I am a battle rager, that type of barbarian that no one ever plays, but it's fun. And then I will, I get 2 attacks, and I will clamp. I'll try and grab the captain with both of my big claws. Just reach out and just grab in on both sides. So that is a 13 to hit.
Unfortunately not.
And so that one.
Definitely not. So as you go and clamp with one, it just kind of it goes through the captain, and it's just kind of, and you feel them clicking together, and the other one, like, you just miss. It just goes wide. You're not sure of your
Can I break?
You're a little low on spatial awareness at the moment.
Can I break a wall by mistake? Like, is it that level of like?
What you do is, it's kind of, as you've lumbered over, you kind of, with that second hand that made, you've clipped the mast instead. You came a little bit too early.
Right.
And, yeah.
Not the first time.
Okay. So I believe that Myrtle had a held action.
I would like to use my held action. So Myrtle, Myrtle has essentially just been swaddled in his cloak, more or less, for the entirety of this underwater journey. And anyone who is close can see him just like wiggling around, like looking for something, you know,
This
just
is not
like
the time. This is not the time.
whatever. Don't, hey, you're busy arriving early or whatever.
Yeah.
So you're rummaging around inside your Flasher's coat, yeah? So
and Flasher's cloak, thank you.
I'm sorry.
It's important.
Of course.
And you see out of like just a little clawed hand, just like emerges from one of the folds in the cloak, and it's holding a gem. And Myrtle starts chanting this like arcane spell. And then the gem kind of lights up just a little bit, and then this energy just explodes outward. And Myrtle says, "I look at the pretty shiny, everyone." and by everyone, I mean all of the ghosts. So any ghost that can see me, I can choose up to any number of creatures within range that can see me, which I choose 5 million because I don't have to see them and I don't know how many ghosts are here. And anyone within 30 feet of me has to make a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by me as I incite greed, as I want all of these ghosts to be like, oh, look at that cool gem that really cool turtle guy has. I should go check that out.
Sticking out from under his Flasher coat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just one hand emerges, yeah?
What save?
A wisdom save.
Cool. Okay. What was the DC?
DC is 15.
Mm-hmm. What do you know? One thing saved. One! Right, so that captain locks onto you with Chris and is clearly like that gem is in their sights.
So, while charmed in this way, a creature can do nothing but use its movement to approach you in a safe manner.
Safe manner?
Yes, indeed. While an affected creature is within 5 feet of me, it cannot move, but simply stares greedily at the gem that I present. And then at the end of each of its turns, it can make a save, yada, yada. But the goal, Myrtle wants to draw as many, especially invisible creatures, in as possible for Vale to have another blast.
Brilliant idea.
Cool.
Okay. Right. Well, is that the end of Holmes' turn and your held action? That's all you can do?
Yeah.
Okay. So that captain comes screaming towards you, but as
they...
Sorry?
Do I get an opportunity attack as they move away from me?
Yes, you can.
He's no longer charmed if you hit him,
Go ahead.
but that's also fine. He's close.
I'm not... okay. I'm happy
You're not
I'm happy to be smarter than my character and not do that if you would prefer it, Nathan. I don't mind.
I have zero preference. Again, it was mostly just to make sure we got as many people in the room as possible.
I rolled a 5 and a 1 on my attacks, and I want to hit something with a fucking claw. That's all I want.
Do it.
Chris, I'll put it this way. I'll be very angry and very disappointed and will not forgive you if you roll badly. So, a lot riding on this.
Non-natural 20!
Okay.
And we're fine.
As the captain tries to go, I think from the rubble of the wall that I clearly sort of went through and around, I'm going to reach back and just grab them with the claw. And they are grappled by me when they are grabbed by the claw.
They can't be grappled, but...
What?
It's a ghost.
My claws are magical. They are existent according to physics of D&D magic.
They're a condition immune to grappling.
Well, then they take 7 points of damage as I tear through them with the claw.
I don't know what to say. That's what it says on the thing.
Here's the question, the real question, Lola. Are any of them allergic to citrus? Because that could...
I don't know. I think it just burns that little bit more. Give me like 1 acid damage from the extra citrus on your claws.
Okay, it's 8 damage, 1 of which is acid.
Woo.
That's yes and DMing for those of you watching at home.
Okay. And as that happens and they've rushed towards you, there's also just that little skitter as this little ghostly cat winds itself around your legs and up onto your palm to stare at this gem. But for the rest of so can they do anything, or are they just
they can only walk towards me? Well, at the end of the turn they get a save, so
okay, cool.
It could go very poorly for me very quickly, but but for their turn all they can do is just walk, just being like, wow, pretty shiny. So the captain has come right up to you and is staring at this thing. And this ghostly cat is just kind of perched. It's almost that your brain is telling you that there is something on you and you can sort of feel it, but not really. It's not really making any okay. Myrtle might be the shit officer now. Very afraid.
Okay. And
the water gets murkier.
Oh, okay. Well, that cat is gonna slash out at your hand that is holding it and try and knock the gem off.
No. It broke out. Curse you, cat.
Cat just
the cat made his wisdom save. Shit.
Yes. Okay, that is a 16.
Against
that is a 16.
My AC, or against do you want an opposed or a deck save or something?
Well, I'm saying it's against your AC. So if your AC's.
Then so Myrtle just retracts it into a shell, and then puts it back out, being like, no.
trying to shove this
And
cat
just
off you
barely-
that
the
doesn't
cat
have
is just-
any form.
The cat is just doing that like thing where it just baps it like 18 times in a row. But Myrtle just barely is able to just nope.
So I have this image of like you want if it was a real cat, you'd be able to like actively push it off.
Right, yeah.
But it's just kind of coming into your shell at the same time and like joining you.
Yeah. So you're also hearing Myrtle make these horrible like
So just to confirm, Nathan, you're making those noises, and under your coat, there's a gem going in and out of your coat. Just to confirm that is what is happening here right now. I'm just checking.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, so having that happen, the thing that was coming up the stairs has also is making its way towards you, Myrtle. Though I think it's intermittently kind of snapping between just everyone else and you every time the gem comes in and out and in and out at the same time. So that will be making its way towards you. So there are now 3 things up.
That I can see.
But yes.
There may be many more things.
But downstairs on the middle deck, that drowned creature is going to go for Copperbox, and it's going to make a swing with this rusted sword that it has on the side. It has advantage?
With disadvantage.
Disadvantage, okay.
Because of the cloak?
Oh yes, cloak of the what?
Cloak of optimized tanking. Displacement.
Displace a cloak. Okay. Well, it rolls. It rolled a 22 and an 11, so I'm assuming it does not hit.
Sadly not. It swishes to where it thinks I am. Swish, swish.
Okay. So that was its first attack, and it's gonna try again. Ooh, okay. A 21 and a... Oh, no, sorry, that was it was a 22 and a 17.
Will not hit.
Okay. So this kind of drowned and slightly puffy creature kind of swings at you and just kind of hits Metal and glances off both times, and it's almost this very kind of ineffectual movement. But that is it.
There's a
That is
sense
them,
of the
and
head
it is
just swiveling and sort of flashing between one position and the other. Can't quite tell where it is, and the eyes just glowing red.
And we'll go back to Brian.
So this creature that just attacked Copper, is it corporeal? Like it's not a ghost compared to the others? It's more of like a creature?
Yeah, it appears to be more corporeal. Though, just as a reminder, you can't actually see this because this is downstairs. Unless you've gone down into you can hear the sounds of metal clanging against metal, but you cannot see.
Yeah, to be fair, where I am, there are just ghosts, and I don't particularly feel equipped to take ghosts on.
There is another one there is 3 things. This little kind of cat-like ghost glow-me thing that is currently perched on Myrtle's arm. This kind of echo that has come all the way up to Myrtle, staring at them, and this same sort of puffy face, puffy skinned body with a blade in front.
Oh, I'll go for I guess I'll back Myrtle up then. I'll sort of readjust, and if I can, come up behind the sort of fleshy one. Would that give me flanking between it and Myrtle?
Yeah, why not?
Awesome, I'll take it.
Obviously, you're very threatening melee partner to a tall turtle wizard.
I mean, the whole point of having flanking is because the creature is distracted by the other person with you, and they are very distracted by your gem.
I'll
ferociously appearing and disappearing into the cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she'll come up behind with one of her daggers and just slot it in its back with a 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Let's start throwing some damage out. So we've got 7 piercing damage base, and then we have 12 sneak attack damage on top.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice.
Okay.
She will then, as she sort of pulls the dagger out, she will... I will go back and move away, and can I glance down and then like acknowledge and see what's going on down? Because she'll sort of swim away and then look down.
Okay. Just a quick clarifying question for Myrtle. With what happens when these creatures that are kind of entranced are attacked?
So, I'm just making sure. I think they just they are charmed by me until the spell ends, which is a minute, as long as I hold concentration, or until you or your companions do anything harmful to it. So it now just gets to act normally. It is still in the same place. It is still blah, 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 but it's just no longer charmed. It's no longer compelled to approach greedily.
Okay. So, I mean, you can swim past, but you will most likely take an opportunity attack from this.
I'm a swashbuckler.
Okay.
So I basically gain the benefit of mobile, which is very handy.
So how do you evade this attack?
It does. Yeah, if it just sort of sends a haymaker her way, she just rolls back in the water. Like, she's very acrobatic even in the water, just it being her natural habitat. So she almost can move like a rogue would if they were sort of flipping and dodging out the way.
Very nice.
And then, yeah, if I can have a little look down the hole to see what's going on down there.
So it's much brighter down there. So obviously, and you can see the same sort of thing that is like ineffectually like hitting at Copperbox with its blade.
Cool. And then I think as soon as I've got my bonus action still, if there's any barrels, anything like that, I can sort of scoot. I'll take a hide action and disappear for the rest of the round.
So if you're still upstairs, there are the beds and the trunks that you could kind of try and hide behind. In the head, there isn't really anything. It's just kind of very small room. I mean, are you planning to go down the hole? The other hole?
I'll take a bed.
It's
Let's
much
try a bed.
smaller. Okay.
Yeah, she'll sort of scoot around. I picture her almost like a fish that, the way they dart away from danger.
Mm-hmm.
That's sort of how she sort of dissipates away, almost in like a bubble cloud as she sort of disappears, and then we'll find somewhere to hide, literally like a fish would in the rocks, when they sit there and watch.
Okay. Do you want to roll me a stealth? Do you need to roll? You could take a hide as an action. Yeah.
That's a 27.
Oh, very nice. Hadn't disappeared. Popped out of existence. Made a little, in the water. Gone. Okay, it is Vale up next.
Just as a free action, you will all hear Copperbox.
Come and join me in the hole.
Captain's orders.
Captain? Definitely not captain.
Captain's kind of like a catch-all as far as Myrtle's concerned. Is there's always a captain, and then but it's then the captain is the one actually in charge.
Capital
but-
T.
Okay, I rolled to see if I was going to do this, and it's a nat 20, so I will. I thought that Brian was in charge.
I'm really excited for Myrtle to just chuck this gem at the back of his dumb lobster head.
That dumb lobster head, but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vale, what would you like to do?
Is from where so Vale's like coming out of the trance now after having been attacked by that little ghost earlier. Is Myrtle still surrounded by ghosts at this point in time?
Yes, probably at the kind of entrance to that room that you were in. There.
Yeah.
He is. He's got ghosts. He's got a ghost on him, and then a ghost kind of looming over him.
Oh boy. Okay. Finishing off this part of the plan, then trying to join Copperbox, Vale will like go use whatever movement speed she can in this environment because she doesn't have a swimming speed to get as close to Metal as possible.
I'm imagining that you've got your claws extended and you're like using them to pull you across the ground, bed,
awesome.
walls, whatever.
Yeah, anything she can get her claws on. And I will use my last turn undead for the day to target just everything else around. You're giving me a look saying I should probably save that for later.
I mean, you can if you want to.
Oh no. You know what?
Whatever feels better.
Yeah, you know what? In my heart of hearts, I know this is what Vale would do. She'll follow through with this plan. And one last turn undead when I get as close to Metal as possible to get rid of any of the ghosties around here. I'll need to make another wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
Okay, does not save again. I am not rolling well. So, with that, let's just double check. So, okay. With that, the captain begins to collapse, and you kind of hear something on the window, almost as if like they've looked up on the. I don't know why I keep saying on the wind. It's vibrations in the water. Sorry.
On a kind of wind, just a watery wind.
Yeah.
Like water currents.
Yes. Yeah, of the currents. Yeah, you kind of hear like a sound of almost like a sea shanty or something almost. It goes, "While is bonny, our winter is we. Oh, the amber does it shine, but not as beautiful as thee." And it kind of fades off. And the captain disappears. The cat, however, or the gloam, is still very much.
Oh, Metal, you look like you're dealing with something rather serious here, but Copperbox has asked us to join us in the hall, so that's where I'm going to be heading next.
Yes. Is
the drowned still there as well?
Yes. It is like it is kind of moving. Like, do they do on their turn? They run away or immediately? They use their reaction.
I haven't seen anything about them using their reaction on my turn with Turn Undead.
I think they use their reaction to. No, they have to dash.
And it's turns trying to move.
Dash and disengage. Isn't
Okay.
it? Yeah.
Cool.
Come on, yeah.
Cool.
It also can't take reactions. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very much. Very good.
So that drowned looks scared.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. In this kind of just like this weird contortion of the puffy face that is like the mouth is kind of contorted and the eyes have widened, but kind of the eyes have widened. I'm not going to say anything else because it's gross. Right,
You get it.
Yeah. It's scared. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else? You have your bonus actions back.
I do. I'll use my bonus action to cast a spiritual weapon into the hole where Copperbox is in preparation for heading down there later.
Okay, roll that attack for me.
Cool. So, oh my god, it's a natural one. Vale opens up her tome and like this glowing yellow yarn starts sprawling out from it and like leading into the hole. And then after it collects, it like tries to swing at like this creature that is trying to attack Copperbox, but it's a swing and a miss.
I imagine it just kind of knocks gently against Copperbox's armor as if to say, "Hi, I'm here." Right, and that is the end of your turn. It is now Myrtle's turn. There is a cat glowing on you, and then
some other number of ghosts.
Puffy creature. Well, no, the puffy kind of creature, like looking incredibly scared, but still near you, but did turn to look at Brian.
Got it. It is both very invested in the gem and also very afraid of Vale. Fair. Okay, so Myrtle, being told that we're going down into the hole, is going to like look around, ensuring that he's not the only one who's going to be going that direction, and is going to, with like a flourish of his magical cape, is going to, while still having the gem out, is going to use his 60-foot swim speed and then just kind of like zip away, hoping that everyone gets displaced or that like the cat doesn't just like ride on his head. But anyone who's charmed won't be taking any attacks or opportunities, etc., and is just like zipping the hell out of there. Okay. First of all,
well, the drowned is not charmed; it is frightened.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah. But the and also the gloam isn't charmed either.
Great.
But I imagine it is just coming along, like still batting at the thing. But
Myrtle's like doing barrel rolls and stuff, trying to get it off.
It's a ghost. Like, how do you imagine the water currents will take it away from you?
I don't know. It's just he's not a necromancer. He doesn't know, man. And so Myrtle is just like, you just hear him go, get off of me, and is as he goes is going to cast mirror image on himself, and then suddenly this one singular ghost cat is riding like 4 Myrtles somehow simultaneously, this roiling batch of turtles, and is going to move down and follow everyone kind of at a relatively safe distance. But I think that'll be the end of his turn.
Okay. Cool. And it is now Copperbox. So the drowned in front of you kind of looks scared as well. I mean, I imagine that like there's only 8 foot down, so it's also kind of scared.
What is your emotional state? Drowned thing.
It just kind of opens its mouth and kind of screeches at you. It doesn't really have a
designation indeterminate.
And I'm gonna hit it with the old booming blade.
Okay.
Let us see.
Oh, you popped off a sword burst or something. Would that have taken damage when it came into range?
No, it would have been just at the time.
Okay.
It's like an instant attack with like a 5 foot radius. It's a cantrip. It's not that hardcore. So this will just be melee attack plus thunder damage if it hits. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. That's the damage roll. 14.
Yep.
Cool. In which case, that would have been 10 damage halved of normal spelly spell. Plus...
I mean, it's on dodge. It does not. It takes the. It's halved. Why?
Because of resistance? But they're not ghosts.
It's undead, but they're not ghosts.
Oh, okay, cool. In which case, 10 damage plus 8 thunder.
Sweet.
So tempted just to stamp on the floor and see what happens.
Okay.
But I imagine
It
that
is-
would be actiony.
You have done quite a lot of that. It's almost like some of it has been blasted away, and like, yeah. I think everyone's fine with gold. It's parts of it have been blasted with it, so it's like part of it kind of peeled away from the skeleton, and it's still got kind of puffy, like almost swollen, like flesh.
I advise you to desist.
You just get that same kind of screeching sound back of like incomprehension.
There's a lot of creaking as Copperbox essays what passes for a shrug. Oh. That's it.
Is that your turn? Okay. Right. Hom, it is your turn.
So everything up here is either coming with, like the cat, or is destroyed, or is running away.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I will.
You think, maybe. Do you think? Would Hom?
Would Hom think it's a good point? No, I'll go over to the drown that hasn't moved yet, and we'll just sort of go over and just get claws. This one's physical, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. It's stabbing time. I will just go over to it and start trying to grab it with the claws recklessly once more. That's much more like it. So 26 to hit.
Absolutely.
And the second claw, because I have 2. The 13 again. What is this fucking...
I mean, yeah, that hits.
Okay, cool. Boom, boom. Both claws stick into it, and we're okay with gore, everyone? Yes? Right.
They said pleadingly, right?
Yeah.
Right, guys? Right? I have a full thing, please.
That's 13 damage on the first strike and 32 to 2 to 8. So that's 26 damage total on those two.
Okay,
Now,
that's how would you like
hang on. I want to roll all the fucking dice.
Do it.
When I grapple something, because of my spiked armor, it automatically takes another 3 points of piercing damage. So that's just the claws being serrated and shredding it. And if it's already dead at this point, I will not use my bonus action to roll another attack. I will just, if we've seen Suicide Squad, King Shark this motherfucker, just tear it apart with the claws and then flick it off and dive towards the hole and follow the rest of the people.
Yeah. So you
in a kind of like...
apart.
The water's very murky.
As like little bits of the kind of distended flesh just...
I probably eat some of it. Like, this is probably like just and then
just a little meat for your orange, like that's now orange flavored. Yeah.
Look, a little bit of orange to go with your undead flesh, and then I will leap down and sort of swim
It doesn't
over.
taste particularly good, but I don't know what lobsters.
Lobsters are weird. I will then move over and swim down. I've got 40 feet of movement because. Bob. So, do I get close enough to the one that Copperbox is still attacking to attack it also? Because I have a bonus action left.
You had gone much closer to you'd use all your movement to go up to the captain's quarters, and that deck is like 40 feet. The room was like 20 down. So I think you can get to the hole. Or you could go down the stairs and kind of be on the other side of the creature.
Would I arrive at the creature if I go down the stairs?
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to go down the stairs that are going through the big hole. I mean, I want to hit it, but also I don't want to matter. So
I'm sorry.
I will just go through the hole and swim over to the hole and look down it and probably give a kind of lobster battle cry. That's me.
Sounds suspiciously quite similar to the...
No.
Okay, and it is... Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yes, so to your turn, the... Sorry. The gloam, which is still on Myrtle, is just kind of playing with the gem and is still trying to get at it. So it's going to make a.
It has one objective:
an attack.
Kill Myrtle. Get gem.
Oh my god! So it rolled a 3. Does that hit you on the gem?
I don't think that hits anything. I don't think no thing that I could offer you as a shot would that hit.
Yeah. It's just batting at it, but like it's really not doing anything. I think at that point it kind of thinks, oh well, it's not real, and will kind of jump off and like scamper away and wind itself back into one of the walls. It just kind of disappears into the walls of ship. And then this drowned that is still existing, not torn apart, that is right in front of Copperbox, is gonna turn to run right into no, actually you're not there, sorry. Like we'll turn and run further into the ship.
Opportunity attack?
Yes.
And also it will take booming blade damage if it moves.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't know which you want to resolve first.
That would look very cool.
Just do all of it,
wouldn't it?
all together.
Yeah. So it will take. Let me just check. It'll be 2d8, and then I'll try. I've got Warcaster, so I can attack it with a cantrip. So I'm going to hit it with booming blade again.
Okay. So what does that look like?
A lot of electricity as I become a spark. That probably won't hit though. That's a 12.
It does not.
That's fine. It'll still take the 2d8.
Wait, no, sorry. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong AC. It does hit.
Oh,
apologies.
That fucking
yeah,
cat.
it does.
In which case, okay, so that's 15 plus 12 is 27 plus 35. So 7.
Well, how do you eviscerate this dragon?
There's a feeling of various parts of Copperbox sort of rubbing together and generating a static electricity, which effectively fires down the attached longsword like a Tesla coil and just burns the thing. Zwoosh.
Okay, so like superheated air just kind of collapses it into this,
Effectively, it's
squash of pink mist in the water.
I did suggest surrender.
You did. That you did. Okay. Well, you're out of initiative because this gloam has lost interest. And you are down in the head, and that door, which had burst open, is showing you the middle deck that has a bunch of boxes, casks, some broken and waterlogged food stuff kind of floating about.
What food stuff?
Suggest we aim for the captain's cabin.
What's the food stuff?
I guess there are more citrus fruits, various assorted citrus fruits.
They get added to
There's
the net bag.
Possibly. You're not down there yet. No, it's fine.
So much.
I'm assuming.
If I see citrus fruit, I'm going. Also, citrus fruit floats, so they'll be floating up past
It's
me
probably,
like a little jamboree of fruit floating past.
It's probably like.
It's like Fruit Ninja. I'm Fruit Ninjaing these fruit.
Like salted meats or like hocks or something.
Oh yeah, that's going in the bag too. Oh, it's a great bag.
Might mess up the buoyancy, but who cares?
I don't care.
Well,
I've got a bag of jerky and fruit.
like various like.
We found the treasure, right?
Powder, kind of that is.
Powder?
How does flour get wet?
Oh, not well.
Like gloopy.
Yeah.
Like it's not floating.
It sort of becomes white and clumpy.
Yeah.
So like
just kind
grey.
of little clumps kind of squashed onto the side of like one of these crates of white gloopy stuff.
I mean, I'll definitely eat it, but I'm not there. Like, I'm just picking up the things that are coming out. Because
I must have so much salmonella.
On a scale of 1 to salmonella, how much salmonella do you have?
10.
I mean, everything is brined and like preserved by the salt water, I guess.
Any pickles?
Look, I'm going to be collecting food. I haven't let people plot. There's definitely plot in the captain's quarters. I'm just saying.
I was going to say, Myrtle saw that had kind of swooped down to, in part, try to get away from everything and also surveyed the situation, and saw that obviously this shade, this creature, this whatever, was turning around and going to a specific direction, which is a strange thing. It feels like for an undead creature to be doing. And Myrtle is immediately just like, I think I may be speaking out of turn, not being in charge here, but I think we should head that direction and we should do it double time.
Whoa, Myrtle, you make a really commanding leader, but you're right.
I hated it. I'm very uncomfortable. Please.
But no, Myrtle is right. Let's head to where that John was heading to earlier. Let's see what we can find.
I will stop stuffing food into my net bag. The flour does not stuff well into the net bag. Okay.
You just have really gloopy claws now.
I'll start licking them. I'll just lick them off. It's mixed with the undead-ness. Yeah, it's great.
Lovely, wonderful flavor.
Like a popsicle.
Lead and I will follow.
Vale will start heading in their direction.
Brian will skip down, but I think Brian's going to stay hidden, if that's at all possible. And I'll potentially sort of almost like horror, like sort of scamper along the ceiling of the hallways and sort of go across while everybody's sort of swimming across normally to see if she can sort of stay hidden and look for anything ahead.
Do you sort of do this all the time, right? Like, we're not sort of like, oh God, where's Brian? Like, it's...
Yeah. Oh yeah, she just disappears sometimes. Whether it's useful or not is a completely different...
It's one of the reasons why you're not actually in charge. Because no one knows where to go.
We've established that no one's in charge, so we're fine.
Yeah. No, the person that is actually in charge is up top. On the top of the water.
Probably should have given more consistent orders then.
I don't know how
Myrtle does
relevant
not
it
care
might be, but when the booming energy was released, it would have sent like a sound wave a long way. So everything knows something's here.
Okay.
If it can hear at all.
Good to know.
Great. I'm not stealthing. That's what that was implying. Making loud slurping noises while eating my flowery cloud claws.
Brian is definitely going ahead enough.
Okay.
Where she's not connected to that.
So half of you have gone downstairs, and Myrtle is going to go and check out the captain's quarters?
I think we're all going to the captain's quarters.
Okay.
Okay, are the captain's quarters upstairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're the door that next to the mess.
Right.
Is it easier if Brian does that thing but goes down while you guys check the captain's quarters out? And she can basically let you know if there's anything at the very bottom.
Yeah, well.
That sounds rogue as hell. I love that.
Just don't get caught.
She probably will.
Sound carries very well underwater, so.
Fun fact, you can actually, if you slam your fist against your hand in water really hard, it actually makes an incredibly loud crack noise that can be heard for like nearly miles. It's crazy.
It's very interesting because you're displacing the water.
That's why the click from the bullet thingy works. Same principle.
Yeah.
Bullet call.
Okay. So, who's approaching the door?
The captain's going.
Yeah.
If we've all said we're going to the captain's cabin, I'm going to go in the captain's cabin. Hang on.
Okay. Are you taking off the door in the same?
This is not intentional, but once again, I've walked in the door and it's gone. Oh, so sorry, everyone.
Hey,
Everything in
It's
here.
good practice for you, matey.
Doors are a worthy nemesis.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything in here is a lot neater than it was in the mess and also in the officers' quarters. There's a bed that is surprisingly well made, given that this whole thing is underwater. It's almost as if nothing is really kind of stirred, and it's kind of at the time everything is battened down, and the cupboards are like closed, and everything seems to be in its place.
Giant claw reaching out to poke something.
Yeah, right. We're all just like looking at different levels across.
There's a desk with like like some scrolls and a strap that's holding them in place on the desk.
I can't read, so I'm not going.
I'll take a look at those.
I was gonna say, Myrtle, go look at the scrolls. It's an area of interest that is not brown nosing, is scrolls.
I will poke the bed, trying to understand how it's managed to stay made underwater.
I will take up position by the door and guard us.
Okay.
Myrtle, will you need any assistance in looking through those scrolls at all?
Well, if you want, I'm not one to stop you.
Well, I'm not much of a reading specifically sort of person, but I do love a little bit of lore and history and magic, so I've got just a thing. And I will tear up another piece of paper and hand it over to Myrtle from my tome and say, a little bit of guidance for while you're looking through it.
Well, thank you, matey. I'll tell you everything that I find. And don't worry. We don't ask too many questions if you're lettered on the ship. It's okay if you can't read. And he takes the slip of paper and eats it, and then undoes the scroll and starts to see what these are.
So the scroll just has those same kind of words that you had heard kind of on the currents as the captain kind of into phone. But like there's other stuff on the desk and there's like drawers. I don't know if you want to give me an investigation check.
I would love to give an investigation check.
I'm not rolling an investigation check, but I have flipped the bed because how is this bedding still on the bed? Doesn't make any sense to me. And, I've picked the bed up in my claws and I'm sort of shaking it like, what's happened to this bed?
As you start to go through the desk and the drawers, you just hear this like smashing as like this bed is like thoroughly like turned over, as if like for Hom it was not enough that the ship was sunk. It like everything must be in the same sort of state of disarray.
No. I just want to understand how this bed was made in a way that doesn't affect where sinking just means to go, oh, the bed's still made fine. Like,
so
to Hom, that is a mystery.
That is not necessarily communicated to the rest of us by smashing.
It's how I investigate.
Covers come away that were like neatly like military tucked in.
All right.
And away from and the pillow comes. Well, no, the pillow was kind of tucked under another sheet, so that also comes and falls. Yeah.
I feel like I've learned something really important, and I will look back at the others with a look of like, and point at the now ruined bed.
The cloak kind of makes a thumbs up from Myrtle's.
Yes, so with a 26, you kind of go through, there's various little keys and things, and like there are some, I don't know, little trinkets and like a little book there, but as you flick through it, it just seems to be a bit of a log. Like there's not much information going in there. But as you go to the bottom drawer and you pull it out, it seems like there's it's shallower than it looks.
Ooh, so the book, my spell book kind of like wiggles out from under the folds of this cloak and then just like kind of zips up a little bit, seemingly undeterred by the fact that it's underwater and has been for some time, and then just kind of like goes vertical and then just bonks down onto the drawer just to see like if it'll like pop up, kind of thing, just to like offset it.
I've got an awakened spellbook. What does it do? It hits things.
Yeah, not effectively, but it does do it.
Make me slight hand check for your
an Arcana check,
spellbook.
so it obeys my great magical, mystical powers.
And
you still have guidance as well.
I do still have guidance. I would like to roll guidance because I rolled a 9.
Absolutely, go ahead.
Don't worry, Nathan. It's just one of them thick drawers.
Yeah. Well, worst case scenario, I'll just get Hom to come over and smash the drawer apart.
It is the best solution, and I don't know why it wasn't your first port of call.
Yeah. Okay, so it was a 12
that's what
total.
is being tried. So,
I'm just a small turtle. I can't smash like you.
The awakened Grimard bonks down on the drawer, and you can hear something rattling in that kind of, what you've ascertained is probably a secret compartment in there, but it does not pop open.
It's not a thick drawer.
Help.
You're all right. What's wrong?
There's just this Myrtle is just like holding up this like drawer with his cloak hand, and I can't seem to open it. I think I can open it, but I can. You get what I mean.
And the first thing you'll get is, but you have opened it. It's not.
Okay, I see how. I think there's something in the drawer that's inside the. Ooh, this is very.
Can I smash the drawer?
Could you smash this for me, please? But like on the side a little.
Okay. If you can imagine me holding it a second, just goes in.
Yeah, right.
Just crunches it to pieces.
I see you are still investigating.
Just roll me. Roll me a dex save as you do that.
A dex save?
I'm just trying to. Yeah.
Fine. 9.
Okay. Well, as you smash the drawer, the wood of the drawer completely crumbles, but the thing inside it does not, and you take just 4 damage as it kind of digs right into like your claw and like
That's
into
right.
the meat of the.
I'm still in temp HP because I get temp HP every time I do a reckless attack. So it is very much a.
So it just caught in Hom's claws is this this set of keys, but there's just one particularly sharp key that is lodged in Hom's claws.
I'll use one of my smaller hands to like pull it out and just hand it over. There you go.
Does anyone see anything pertaining to keys or the insertion of them therein?
All of the cupboards and such here that you've glanced around, like they just look like they've got a simple knob that requires turning. No keyholes.
Could I cast detect magic around? I should have done that before. I forgot I was playing a wizard.
Sure. What is the radius on that one?
So it is concentration up to 10 minutes. For the duration, I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me.
Okay.
And I can just kind of walk around, poke, prod, etc.
You get like as you cast this out, almost like waves of sort of whatever, like traveling from you. There's nothing above you, nothing on this level, but as you go deeper, there's almost like this. There's something, or like a couple of little things kind of pinging to one side of the ship, and then one big thing, like down in the depths of the ship.
I think we should go down. Or not go down. We should go down.
All right.
Okay. Good work, everyone. Let's start heading down.
I mean, how literally do I think you mean we should just go down? No, I'm clever enough to understand that you don't mean smash through the floor. Okay.
Oh,
However,
that's what you meant.
I will ask.
Oh, okay. Phew.
Would you like me to smash through the floor?
Maybe we should try to keep the ship's integrity.
If I had a penny.
Well, we still have it, because we still have 2 other ways down as well.
I will avoid making more holes.
I'm also down there, and the chances that you land on top of me.
True.
Oh, very fair.
It's very busy down there, isn't it, at the moment?
I hope you're protecting yourself.
Hey.
Say, what is Brian discovering?
Sorry, what did... Oh, yes, you had gone down.
What did you think we were saying, Lola? That was all perfectly clean, clear.
Yeah. You had swum down the stairs, through the hole?
Through the hole to the very bottom.
Okay, so you had essentially swum through the hole and swum down another set of stairs to what looks to be a much larger hole, and there are hold. And there are these same kind of boxes and caskets. These ones look to be in like much better nick, as it were, and like much more together. There's also kind of a door on one side, and then towards the front of the ship, and then there is a large ship at a larger room with doors at the back.
She'll sort of scoot along, would you like me to re-up my stealth? Are you happy for my 1 to 4?
No, happy for it.
Awesome. She'll sort of stealth around, and then she'll go put her head next to each box as she's sort of scooting along and just knock really quietly. If she hears an echo, it's empty. And she's just going to like mentally sort of acknowledge which ones are full of stuff and which ones aren't. I don't know if that still kind of works if they're waterlogged, but
so I don't know, because it probably wouldn't.
Yeah, you wouldn't get the
echo. Some of them do. Kind of like you do hear stuff moving in them. I get the impression that these have been much better like protected against the elements, and like there's some kind of ceiling around it. But yeah, you think like quite a few of these are full. Some of them do seem to be kind of waterlogged.
They look like classic storage of sort of shipping goods. Nothing that's sort of like picking up my eye or anything like that.
No, not in here.
She'll go straight to that main door.
The one at the front or the back?
The front first, yeah. She'll work up way sort of from one end to the other.
Yeah. So you try the door, it's locked.
Can I try pick it?
Yeah. Do you have thieves' tools?
I should do. I've got proficiency in it, so I assume I have them. I didn't give myself a backpack.
Oh dear. Did you leave your thieves' tools on the ship?
Well, that depends on...
What would you use instead? To try and jimmy this open.
She has multiple daggers. She could go over and take a dagger and create 2 splinters off one of the wood boxes without too much issue.
Yeah. quick and dirty, so we'll improvise this. So give me a sleight of hand plus your proficiency.
So we've got a 21 plus, so a 24.
Yeah. So it's a little bit. It's interesting because underwater, this is not as simple a task, and there's a lot. It's slippery, or it's not slippery. It's kind of hard to properly get purchase on these, but you do manage to unlock it pretty easily once you've got the hang of that situation, and you open the doors to what appears to be an armory.
Oh.
And there's racks of weapons across one side. They're all very nicely and very carefully placed and strapped in. And there are a couple of trunks there as well.
Are they open or locked, the trunks?
No, they're closed. Yeah. They're closed. I deem you have to go and investigate them too.
Yes, she'll go along and jimmy them to see if they'll open up.
So, there's one that opens pretty easily, and that just appears to have some clothing or something in. Then the others are much heavier and also don't open easily.
Interesting. I need wizard and pointy where the magic key is, so she'll begin to start pushing, hitting her hand against the other to create a cracking sound to indicate to the guys that she's found something. Mm-hmm. And then she'll swim straight across to the other side to where the other doors are.
As you hear that kind of loud cracking sound coming up, and you probably should be aware that this is probably Brian calling for you if she's done this before. What would you all like to do?
Continue to head down to join Brian. Yep. I'll go at the front. I'm guessing Dave at the back. We'll copper box at the back because that's what we're used to, and then we'll just make our way down.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you make your way down, you reach the hold just in time to see Brian swim to the set of doors at the back, reach to try and open it, and be kind of blasted back in the water, and kind of do a somewhat graceful tumble. I think Brian is always pretty graceful in the water, but very much rebuffed by the door.
That one's meaner than the other one. That door's open. There's loads of interesting stuff in there, but that one was mean.
So, from Myrtle's perspective, you can probably the front of the ship was what was giving you that kind of lots of little pings, and the back was giving you that big kind of, and it's still giving you that. It's glowing brightly.
Myrtle manta ray flaps over to Brian and gives her the keys, and just says, "Oh, these might come in handy."
She'll hold the keys out in front of her and edge closer to it, trying to use the keys is this gonna stop it from blowing me away again?
So as you bring the key closer, that a thing begins to materialize in the door as a space for the key to go, but it won't turn.
Can you... I don't think Brian would understand that.
Oh, could I have a quick look at that key, Brian?
Yeah, sure.
I would like to cast Identify on this to see if there's any magic in this specifically.
So, okay, yep. So the key itself, you think that it is kind of almost paired with what I guess is kind of the ward for the door. It's like it's part of the ward, so it would unlock it, but perhaps there are more parts to the key. Or parts to lock it.
I believe this might be some sort of fragment of a larger sum.
Why don't we check the 2 locked boxes?
Does anyone want to, do you want to make a history or almost like a lord, like being a knowledge cleric?
Yeah, so I am also, in case this is useful, my background is sailor. So in case this is anything that is useful, that a sailor would reasonably know or have maybe a higher likelihood of knowing too, just wanted to
okay, do you want to both make me a history check?
Absolutely, yeah.
Sure.
The more the merrier.
Sat on a crate,
20.
coating a lime in flour and just sucking it off.
You knew what you were saying.
Can I make a history check to forget you said that?
Do you have to roll high or low on that? I don't know. Natural 20 for 24.
Okay. Oh, very nice.
19, yeah.
Okay. So, Val, you've kind of, as you think back, you think that there is some kind of connection to warded places that have been seen, but you've never seen one, and you don't really get it's not clicking for you. For Myrtle, it's like, oh, yeah, I know what this is. Like on some of the bigger ships or the ships that are carrying like very expensive or like particularly precious cargo, you would often need a command word with a key to break the ward.
Do we think the song, maybe, perhaps?
You make a very good point. Yes. Does anybody remember what the tune for that was?
Myrtle still has the scroll that has it written down. It says, I cannot be singing this. I don't have high enough charisma. But hopefully this is useful to someone else.
I only have this horn, but not a singing voice.
Myrtle, as your leader, I think you should sing it.
I will mutiny. But before we open this, we don't know what's in there. We should check to see if there's anything useful back in the armory. There was magic.
So there's some. Well, I didn't realize there was magic, but they're rather fancy looking. Might as well at least split them. Might be worth something in the end.
We should avail ourselves of more advantages against these foes.
Brian will immediately swim through. Is there any like short swords, daggers, stuff like that?
Yeah, so in that rack, you've got kind of like all nicely kind of set into the rack. You've got some short swords. Like above it, there's like a little wrap that's got these daggers like slid in, and it's probably an axe or like a staff. Anything you're looking for, just grab whatever you like.
While they're doing that, as previously established, Tom has a tendency to sort of hum under their breath.
Everything.
That too. But also they have a tendency to sort of hum under their breath and sing little things under their breath. And without realizing it, they are singing the thing from earlier. Why is honey is sweet? Oh, the amber shine, but not as beautiful as the... Because they've been doing it the whole way through. They dum-da-dum quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I'm currently singing it. Obviously, I haven't put the key in the lock, or unless they left the key in the lock.
No.
Yeah.
It was passed to Vale to identify.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So Vale's like holding the key while Hom is like muttering this, like, "Well, that's a really beautiful tune."
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Tom Waits singing Christmas Carol. On the weather outside.
All the boxes just completed.
Fires.
Slotting weapons into their holes for the weapon bits.
Yeah, that's what we do with weapons.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally normal thing to be said. Very good.
The Warforged goes. Paching.
Myrtle now has a slightly more magical quarterstaff that he's affixing all his weird chains and locks and stuff to, that unfortunately is not turtle sized. And so now there's just this 4.5 foot
I think
tall
as you
stick.
pick it up, it does seem to kind of shrink, but it is taller than you.
Yeah,
It shrinks slightly, but it does. It's still much taller than you.
Can I assist you by cutting it in half? Or is that offensive? If so, I'm sorry.
We'll see. We'll see how this whatever comes. How this final combat goes.
I believe in you. Friend, staring into the eyes is friend.
Okay.
Yeah, Vale will go and stick the key into the door.
Yeah.
Han, if you'd be so kind as to bless us with your golden pipes once more.
Oh, I don't sing.
Oh, but you were humming such a wonderful tune earlier.
Was I? And I will hum it again under my breath because I'm just remembering what it was that I was humming without remembering that I was, because in my mind I don't sing.
So, as you reach the second kind of verse?
Line?
Not line. As you reach the second line, kind of, and the word Awanite is said, like the key turns.
Oh.
In the door.
Try to open up the door from where I am.
Mm-hmm. And it's almost like the doors begin to kind of pull back and fade into the rest of the walls from the hold, and in front of you is this small chest. It's just right in the center of the room.
I want to make a perception check to see if there's anything else in that room.
And also, assuming that this is the magic thing that was emanating.
Okay, so you are definitely getting a sense of intense magic from there. Like the magic of the walls and everything else, that seemed to disappear now that it's unlocked.
There's still magic. Be careful.
Natural 20 for the perception, 27.
Boom.
You don't see anything.
Do I hear anything?
Just the kind of creaking and groaning of a ship that is under pressure from...
So, this is the thing that's been bothering us the whole time. This is what we came for.
Yeah, this is what we were sent to get, I believe. It seems like it matches the description.
I'll walk over and I will pick it up.
As you lean over to grab it and get you can you be surprised? I don't know.
Can I be surprised? Certain levels of barbarian you cannot be surprised anymore, but I'm not there yet. It's level 7 ability. But yes, I can be surprised.
Okay. Well, something shoots up out of the floor and lashes you out of the way.
Lashes me out of the way?
Yeah. Actively hits you.
All right.
Out of the way. Or at least we'll try.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 24 to hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So
all of us are like, oh, 24, eh? Ooh, oh no.
Great. So you basically feel this awful sensation going through you, and it forces you to kind of drop
silvery bobs.
Okay. I will again.
I exist to protect.
That is a natural 20 for a 26.
I tried.
Do I take the first?
No,
The
no.
lower one?
You take the lower.
Okay, cool. So that was still a 24.
Yeah.
That's the natural 20. Yeah. So you basically feel like this echo of damage that it's incredibly painful and forces you to drop the box. That's not great. So you take 30 damage. And
Fine.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else would have
That
done.
would
No,
put
but
me down to single digits HP in one shot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Baby wizard.
Yeah, I rolled like max damage on 3 of my dice.
Yeah. That's just
dice, yeah.
It definitely hurts. Like I said, what's hitting me? What is it? What do I see?
It's like this dragon or like what little ghostly wormling that kind of coils itself around the box.
Oh,
Right. I punch it.
Okay. I need you all to roll initiative first. Because you do not get a surrender.
14.
Okay. So that was a 20 from Vale. 14 from Hom.
Yeah.
Brian?
21.
Very nice. Copperbox.
Flirted with a 20 and then rolled over onto an 8 for a 9.
Oof. Sadly. And Myrtle, two-tooth Myrtle.
Don't worry, Copperbox. I'll be down there with you with a 6.
Oh.
Okay, and
It takes me a turn for my servos to start spinning.
Yeah.
you can all safely say that you were somewhat surprised by this.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So, with that, Brian, you get your turn first. You've just seen this thing come out of the floor and in the process of curling its way around the box to stop it being taken, lash out with its tail that goes through Hom, but seems to have done quite a lot of damage in one go.
I'm down to one knee.
I'm
fine. Totally
she's
fine.
gonna float above and over the top of Hom and basically like come down onto it with the short sword that she'll have picked up.
Okay, yeah. An attack roll for me.
That's a natural one.
Ooh.
So, tell me what this looks like as you absolutely miss.
She crawls up over the top and comes down above. It's almost sort of like give Hom a bit of space to sort of recenter themselves. But as she goes, she just like whiffs it and falls backwards almost on top of this like tail. So she's literally just like sprawled on her back on top of whatever this creature is, like in the most vulnerable position she could be in.
Okay, so you're saying you go prone, just at
Yeah,
the
that's
fastest
fine.
teacher. Okay. Okie dokie. Is that your turn?
If I'm prone, I could get up a half movement.
Depends on how much movement you've already used to get there.
That's sort of up to you because I don't really know.
No, it would just
exactly
be
where.
20 feet. It would be
20 feet.
movement,
So
I don't think
the half
enough.
of the rest of it would have been to stand up anyway, and I don't think I would be able to stand up.
Yeah. No.
So yeah,
basically
that's it.
gone
She's prone.
over Hom and kind of tumbled and fallen. Okay, Vale, it is your turn next.
I immediately become very stressed because of the situation. I will, second burst, same as the first, open up my tome, cast a spiritual weapon as my bonus action. And for my action, I will cast, I think, Sacred Flame at this creature. Okay. Rip out another page of the tome, crumple it up. But because we're underwater, I have to like throw it and hope the water carries it towards this thing as opposed to just like chucking it like normal. And it has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, so as you throw this kind of ball, it almost has its own like life of its own. It's not really carried on the currents. It's almost like it's pushing through the water and spiraling, and it's giving off this like waves of, when you get heat waves outside, or like that heat haze outside of water, it looks like it's changing the way the water looks around it, and it's using that momentum to kind of get wider and wider. And I'm just gonna I rolled the wrong thing, but I rolled very low. It's a 7.
Ooh, there's a fail.
So it does not save. Yeah.
Do the radiant damage.
So do you want to do the damage and also give me that attack for the...
Absolutely.
For the spiritual weapon.
That is 4 radiant damage from the Sacred Flame. And that's a 22 to hit for the spiritual weapon.
Nice.
Okay, very nice. Yes, it does.
Oh, hell yeah. That's another 6 force damage, I believe?
Yes, it's force damage. And you think that radiant damage was probably quite... that kind of sacred flame seems to kind of diminish it a little bit more in like the area that it hit.
Oh, brilliant. And just as a free action, before I end my turn, just yell out to everyone, if we grab the box, we can get out of here and I can get us back onto the surface really quickly if we want to avoid this combat.
Very interesting.
At that, that kind of ghostly echo of a wormling goes to... Well, no. I was going to say at home,
I'm
but
right here.
Brian is also right there.
If there is that, then there'll be a lot of like the person kind of posturing to try and draw it out.
But Brian has landed on its tail.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna... Okay, that is a 24 to hit. It's just like this bite as it opens its mouth and kind of its jaws kind of close on you, but through you at the same time. Does that hit?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Okay, that is 13 damage, and as those jaws kind of close, you almost feel this little sparking, and you also take 4 lightning damage, and because Hom, you are right there, and that travels a little bit on the water, you will also take that 4 damage.
4 lightning damage?
Yes.
What kind of damage was the
first one?
Yeah.
The lash?
Yeah.
That was psychic.
Right, okay.
The bite was piercing and lightning. You think that it's a little bit more real.
Sure.
So it's going to kind of, after doing that, it's going to kind of curl up on itself, almost just slightly trying to obscure the little box. And it is your turn, Hom.
Right. I'm not going to rage. I will instead use a bonus action to activate my Eldritch Tattoo, Eldritch Claw, which means that for a minute, I can add an extra d6 force damage on every attack that hits. Because it's doing a lot of damage that I can't protect with raging. So what would the point be? Right. Cool. 2 attacks. I'm going to recklessly attack, so I get 5 temp HP.
Nice.
Such a good little feature. Right. We have... Come on now. New pair of shoes. Ooh, 14 to hit?
No.
Damn it. Come on. 16 to hit.
Oh.
It's an 8. 2 rolls with advantage. I had this earlier. One was an 8, one was a 4. Like in the first round of the last combat, one was a 5 and one was 2 nat 1s, which made it a 1.
I think you're still reeling from that kind of
fine
psychic.
Bless me.
Yeah.
I think tapping the tattoo is less of a the rages of the water boiling. And tapping the tattoo is less of that, and it's more of just like and just reinforcing wanting to hit. And the claws probably have a slightly eldritchy glow to them, but nothing too colourful or too fancy free. But I missed twice. Yeah, that is my turn. I will stay there to tank. I will try and draw focus so it doesn't hit Brian again.
Okay, of course. It is Copperbox's turn next.
Copperbox is gonna slash out with the new magic-y blade, so that will just come out of the slot and then whack. And I think I'm just going to take the 2 attacks rather than cantrip because it's not going to be following. So first attack is a 20 to hit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I'll roll both of them to save a bit of time. Second one is an 18 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
Cool.
So that's 11 plus 15, 34 points of slashing damage. And just because I can, its speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Okay. 11 plus 15 is 26.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
What's the...
26.
Yeah. I think
No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, okay.
I was thinking about the thunder stuff, but it isn't on there.
Okay, cool. Yes, and then we will go to this wormling does look very unhappy at this point. Yeah. But we'll go over to Two-Tooth Myrtle unless you have any bonus actions or you want to
Nothing I'm gonna do. I don't need to heal or anything. I'll just stare at it.
Okay.
We could have been friends.
Could the wormling please make me a dexterity saving throw?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it did. It didn't. At the same time.
DC is 15, in case that is useful.
Yeah, it rolled a 2 for a 7.
Great.
It's what I'm saying.
Great news. So Myrtle kind of you see the book start to glow once more, his animated spell book, and all around this wormling, the water starts to contract and almost form these globes of ice. And you can see it's just very unsettling as you just can barely see these weird glints just kind of start to circle, and then they all circle around it and then just smash into this dragon, as it's a much cooler description of Snillock's snowball swarm.
Oh, I love it though.
11 points of damage, of cold damage, in case that means anything. I assume not. And I don't really have any fun bonus actions. So I think that is just what he's going to do.
You think that this, it probably hasn't taken quite as much damage as you wanted it to, but the way that the ice has fallen and dug into it, it appears to have, it looks like it can't quite move. It's almost as if it has, fixed its form to the deck.
Very interesting.
Almost as if it's frozen in place.
Oh.
Well, if we want to hit the eject button even sooner, if the thing is frozen, we can just leave.
Just get out.
But that is all Myrtle does on his turn.
Okay. Back to the top of the order. And so this thing kind of partially frozen in place. Brian, what would you like to do from lying on its tail, having casually avoided these spikes landing near you?
She'll use half a movement to get up. Strike out the best she can from stood up for a crit. Nat 20 to just slash straight out. So we'll do base damage first.
Yeah.
Got 8 on the base.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the sneak attack, we have...
Oh, you rolling the dice twice, or?
I just double now. I've rolled it already, so might as well just make it quicker. That is 12 to 24 on top.
Okay.
8 plus 24.
Yeah, it is looking... It's as where those kind of ice shards have pinned it to the deck, like it's almost beginning to like fade around it, like losing all grasp on corporeal.
Because it's kind of ghosty again, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
And then GTFO, as far as 15 foot, will get her away from her. Or away from the wormling.
Okay. Yep. Vale, it is your turn.
Vale will tear out 3 pages of her tome, lay the pages on top of one another and roll them into a very thin spear-esque shape, and with the click of her free hand they will alight in this golden symmetrical flame across its entire body. She's casting Guiding Bolt at 3rd level as she chucks it at this creature.
Nice.
And that's going to be... Oh, there we go. 25
very
to hit.
nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what does it look like as this wormling with the damage you do? Like it's gone. How do you make it gone?
I think this is the first bit. So the guiding bolt strikes this creature and sort of disappears into its body, and the light dissipates for just a moment as everything falls to darkness once more, and the only light you can see is copper box is a little light. But then this bright blue filtered light starts to emanate from inside of its body as it expands and grows and starts to envelop the entire area. And I think for a moment everybody in the room is blinded, and when the light comes down again, it's just gone.
Oh.
Love that. Okay, so as the light kind of dissipates, those of you that have dark vision can see just this box with a beautiful inlay. I mean, you can't discern any of the colors on it, but it's got a dragon inlay, and it's just a pretty little box.
Can I do what I was doing before and just pick it up?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
There we go. All sorted.
Nice work, everyone.
No.
So at that point, having finally grabbed the one thing that your contact wanted from this wreck, I think that your crew will probably take the time, maybe not, to gather the other promised riches from this ship, possibly the heavy chest from the other room, the anything that you could possibly sell, but will kind of make your way back up through the aid of, I think, copper boxes, like like one of Copperbox's many accoutrements that is part of themselves or himself. And
you've got inflatables, haven't you?
Yeah.
Oh, for days.
That will shoot you back up to the surface with the rest of your bounty, and you're back on the ship, ready to head back to your contact. For payment, though, do you need it? I don't know. That is for the crew to decide another time, but for now, thank you very much.
Woo! Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you everyone for being part of the underwater shenanigery that was tonight's show. So if you enjoyed tonight, we play every Monday and Tuesday from 6 p.m. GMT BST, which is 10 a.m. PT PST. Depending on time zones and various things. Obviously we are in GMT now, and I assume we're just in Pacific time. With that, we also play what should be on.
Right. Well, next week, because this is between Christmas and New Year's, next week we start some of our new shows on Monday and Tuesday. So check out Twitter. It's all on Twitter.
Exciting. So yes, check out Twitter to find out what we'll be playing on Monday and Tuesday. And also from 6 p.m. GMT and 10 a.m. PT. But you can also join us this Friday, again, from the same time, 6 p.m. GMT, 10 a.m. PT, for Talk Together, or Talking as a Free Action, depending on what is happening this week. Mm-hmm. Our chat show where we interview our players, DMs, and other TTRPG industry voiters, or run them through a gauntlet of labyrinthian things. All of our shows are streamed at twitch.tv/rolltogetherrpg, and you can find all of our content archived at youtube.com/rolltogetherrpg. There are also podcast versions of all of our shows available everywhere. Search for Roll Together RPG. And a massive thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. There'll be a link in chat now. Do join them, please, because every penny helps us make all the content that we do. Big thanks again to our sponsors and supporters. And don't forget, we're over all social media as Roll Together RPG. You can even find us on the TikToks, the Clock app. So thank you for watching, and see you soon. Bye.
Bye.